And here come the Wolverines out of that eastern tunnel and out onto the gridiron under that M Club banner that shouts "Go Blue" at the center of the field. And what impact will the wind have on this game? Well, let's go down to Steve Courtney down on the sideline.
Well, you know, fellas, from time to time there has been a strong wind going into a ball game, but here at field level, you couldn't hardly notice it. Today is an exception. Frank, as you mentioned, it's blowing out of the southwest, gusting up to and including 50 miles an hour. Oddly enough, during the pregame ceremonies, I didn't feel any wind. I was standing behind former Michigan great Bubba Paris. So maybe that's a plan somebody could implement during the course, but it will have an effect on the game. More on that as it unfolds.
But Bubba there, I'm surprised you even noticed the sun.
Yeah.
Dave Rayner, the great MSU place kicker, will boot it with that strong wind to Grant Mason and Steve Breston if it stays in the stadium, and it will not. This kick will sail through the end zone. The backyard brawl underway with a touchback, and Michigan will get the ball on its own 20-yard line with David Boss at center, Ruben Raleigh at left guard, Adam Stenovich at left tackle, Matt Lentz the right guard, Jake Long the right tackle. Chad Henne, the freshman quarterback, will be at the helm for the Wolverines, and we'll see Mike Hart at tailback. Now the second leading rusher in the Big Ten, 13th in the country, Jim, 936 yards on the ground. Michigan comes out with three wide receivers. Edwards and Avant to the right, Breston to the left. Edwards starts in motion, comes back, fake to Hart, bootleg right by Henne. He's going to take off and run with it over the 20 and out near the 25, where he is ridden out of bounds by Terrell Dortch, the outside linebacker. And if that name is familiar, it should be, because Dortch last year ran for over 500 yards for MSU after making that remarkable comeback from that horrible career-threatening injury he suffered a couple of years ago at Wisconsin, and he's been moved from running back to linebacker.
And they also have Jaron Hayes out there playing corner. Hayes, again, last year, he was a running back for this team. So Michigan State putting their athletes on defense.
2nd and 7 for the Wolverines on their own 23 at the right hash. Dudley's in there at fullback. Here's Hart with a big hole on the right side. Breaks to his right, and a good open field tackle is made by Jason Harmon, the free safety at the 28-yard line. Juan Hart got about 5 to set up 3rd down and 2, and there was a lot of space out there for Mike to run.
Mike tried to bounce it outside and give credit where credit's due. Harmon came up and made a very, very good tackle in the secondary. Play bounced outside. If he breaks it back up inside, probably gets a little bit more. Harmon, though, played off the block of Avant and made a wonderful tackle.
MSU plays a 4-3 defense, and we'll set them for you in a moment, as Michigan sets up 3rd down, 2 to go on their own 28. 3 wideouts in the game. Massaquoi, the tight end on the right. Hart's the only setback. Henny's going to throw for it. Quick out, right side to Breston. He's got it and stumbles out of bounds at the 32. So a quick 5-yard outcut to Steve Breston, and the Wolverines move the chains, convert on 3rd down. 1st down, Michigan at the 32-yard line. They threw it in front of that former running back that you mentioned, Jaron Hayes.
Great read by Henne. He saw that Breston had all kinds of cushion by Jaron Hayes. Just pitch and catch, get it over there.
Here's Hart now coming around the right side, the short side of the field. Gets a great block from Dudley, turns it up over the midfield stripe. Harmon, the safety, comes over, bangs him out of bounds at the MSU 47-yard line. That'll be a gain of 20 yards for Mike Hart and a Michigan 1st down.
The key to the play there is getting the seal on the defensive end. And that time, Michigan did a great job with its tight end and tackle over there, Jake Long, sealing Michigan's defensive line inside. Dudley out in front gets a block on the corner, and off they go.
1st down, Michigan. Right hash at the MSU 47-yard line. Offset high power left in the backfield. Jermaine Gonzalez in there at wide receiver in motion. Handoff to Hart. Trying the left side of the line. He's stacked up, bounces to his left, and gains about 3 before Ronald Stanley makes the stop at the 44. Let's set that defense for MSU. The tackles are Kevin Vickerson and Brandon McKinney. McKinney's really more of a nose guard. Goes about 320 pounds or so. Clifton Ryan is the one end, and the other is Clifford Dukes, who you might remember had a 65-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown against Michigan last year. Ronald Stanley, one of their captains, is the middle linebacker. Dortch and David Herron Jr. the others. The corners, Jaron Hayes and Roderick Maples. The safeties, Jason Harmon, and strong safety Eric Smith, their leading tackler. Screen right, toss to Hart. Turns it upfield, gets to the 40, and he's dragged down by David Harron Jr., that weak side linebacker who would have made a nice play to get through all the interference and make the stop at the 40, 3 yards shy of a first down.
Michigan trying to blunt Michigan State's pass rush with that screen on a 2nd and long. With the screen pass, that takes that rush and kind of backs it off a little bit. And I think that's what they were trying to do on 2nd and long, put themselves in a 3rd and intermediate. Could throw, could run. Either way, the key is, what does the defense give you?
The tail of the ball touches the 41, so it's 3rd down and 4 for Michigan. Single setback now. And that's Hart. And he's going to throw for it. Setting up, fires near side, too high for Ecker, incomplete. And so Michigan faces 4th and 4 at the MSU 41 and will likely punt. Promising drive, stalls in Michigan State territory. And Henny a little off target with that throw.
Yeah, he had the tight end open.
That one might have sailed into the wind.
Again, that's one of those plays where the weather very well and the wind could have affected that play.
Agim Shabai goes deep for the punt by Adam Finley now. Finley's been having a terrific year. 19th in the country, averaging almost 43 yards a kick. Hangs this spiral high toward the left hash, and it sails into the end zone, somehow into that wind. And I'll tell you what, that's hard to do, my friends, to kick it 41 yards into that wind. Before the ball game, we saw the punters having trouble getting it 30 yards downfield. But that one made it to the end zone. It's a touchback, and MSU goes on offense at its own 20.
That's what a gusting wind can do, though, Frank. In the pregame warm-ups, that's when you get used to the wind. And I think Finley thought he had to really bang it to get it down near the end zone. But the wind died down for just that second, and he was able to kick it pretty deeply.
Here comes Michigan State now with that spread option offense. Drew Stanton, the quarterback. He's got single setback DeAndre Cobb behind him. There's early movement on the left side of the line, and that'll be whistled by the officials and result in a 5-yard penalty against State.
Stephon Wheeler, the left tackle, jump.
And that's who it was. Stephon Wheeler, the left tackle. Kyle Cook, the left guard. Chris Morris, the center, who's on the Remington watch list in his 2nd year as a starter. William Whitaker, a big 330-pounder at right guard. Sean Poole out of Flint is the right tackle. The tight ends, Jason Randall and Eric Knott, they'll both play. And the Spartans split 3 receivers wide. 1st and 15 on the 15. Michigan showing blitz. And here's the handoff to Cobb going right. He gets up over the 20-yard line, is dragged down from behind by Roy Manning out at about the 22-yard line. He got 7 yards. Sign up to be a touchdown buddy. Win an 8-square pizza at any of the 9 metro area buddies locations. No purchase necessary. MSU now going without a huddle. 5 wideouts for Drew Stanton. 2nd down, 8 to go. Spartans on their own 22. Got 4 receivers to the left. Stanton rolling out that way to run. He's got some room. He throws instead, and it's caught by Trennan at the 30-yard line for a first down. He's wrapped up immediately over there by Leon Hall. But Matt Trennan, that big target, 6'6", 217 out of Flint Northern, makes his 23rd grab of the year.
Michigan went with a 3-man rush and 8 in coverage that time when State went with the 5 wide look. And the no huddle is a tactic, I think, by John L. Smith to keep Michigan from their substitution pattern.
Well, they got 6 defensive backs in there now. Marcus Curry and Darnell Hood both in there. And here's Stanton out of the gun to throw. Here's that bubble screen to the wideout, Trennan, and he slips trying to avoid Marlon Jackson, who made great penetration. Shazer's there, and it's a loss back to the 28.
The key there is Marlon read that play so well. He saw the wide receiver running toward the quarterback from his wide out position, and he knew. He read the bubble screen right away, came upfield, avoided the blockers, and made the play for a loss.
The quarterback, Stanton, goes out to his right, says a few words to wide receiver Kyle Brown. 3 wideouts here. Inside handoff on a draw, and look out, running room for Cobb up the middle. He's in the clear. 45-50 off to the races. DeAndre Cobb, he's going all the way. 72 yards for a Michigan State touchdown. And the Spartans have the lead with 11:25 to go in the first quarter.
The play is simple. It's that shotgun formation with one running back next to Stanton, the quarterback. And it's kind of a delay back there where the quarterback and the running back stand there together with the ball. But Michigan had spread out. There was nobody in the middle of the field deep because of the spread formation. Once Cobb broke the line of scrimmage, got by the linebackers, with his kind of speed, nobody in Michigan was going to catch him.
Now Dave Rayner to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Brandon Fields. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 11:25 to go in the first quarter, Michigan State 7, Michigan nothing, 80 yards in 4 plays. That is the longest play from scrimmage for MSU this year. And against Michigan, that's the second longest play of the year.
But Maroney got one out from Minnesota?
80 yards.
80 yards.
Right. We're brought to you in part by Midwest Financial Credit Union, where everybody is welcome.
16 is Dave Rayner to kick off.
Dave Rayner to kick it off for MSU. Back deep, Grant Mason and Steve Breston. Rayner has that big wind at his back. John L. Smith, gotta love that start, huh?
Absolutely. Offense is clicking. Even with 2 negative plays where they lost yardage in early downs, Michigan State overcame them both.
Kickoff, high, deep, end over end, and out of the field of play, right through the uprights, it looked like. Touchback, and Michigan will start on its own 20 again. The legend is here, Ron Kramer.
Always one of the greats. Number 87 in your program, number 1 in your heart, Ron Kramer.
You know, is my hair that thin on top that I could feel that kiss right on the scalp? Good to see a legend. Michigan's football on its own 20. And they come from the sideline to the line of scrimmage. They split Edwards out to the right. Avant in a slot that way, and Breston out to the left. Hart the only setback. Tight end Massaquoi is on the left side. Henny's going to throw. Looking right. Firing. Braylon Edwards has to go down to make the catch at the 24. And you could see from up here, Jim, as that ball was thrown toward our sideline, how the wind affected it. It sort of sank on Braylon Edwards, and that's why he had to go down to make the catch.
It sank and actually kind of faded away from him. Again, Braylon getting a lot of cushion over there from Jaron Hayes. You want to get the ball to your playmakers. That one good for 5 yards.
2nd and 5. The ball just over the 24-yard line. 3 wide out, single setback Hart, draw play, here comes Hart, hole on the left side, hit by Stanley as he comes through, and Stanley will drag him down close to that first down marker. They'll mark it at the 29, so it'll be a gain of 4 and set up 3rd down and 1 statistically. Now Mike Hart closing in on 1,000 yards on the year. He needs 64 yards in the ball game. Third down and short for the Wolverines. Michigan State packing 5 men up front, and Henny's going to sneak it. He's got to muscle his way against Brandon McKinney, the nose man, and I mean, he is a man up there. But he got the first down. Hart entered the game with 936 yards rushing. And it's amazing to think, Jim, that he didn't take over the starting job until, what, the 4th game of the year?
Yeah.
And I mean, now he's 2nd in the conference behind Maroney in rushing.
Yeah, the kind of numbers that he's put up have been remarkable, and that he really didn't get much in those first 3 games.
First down, Michigan on its own 31. 10 minutes to go first quarter. The Spartans are on top 7-0. I formation now for Dudley and Hart. And here's Hart again on a draw. Big hole left side, 35 up to the 40. They're jumping him from behind and hauling him down at the 44. Eric Smith and Jason Harmon, the safeties, made the stop. But boy, is Michigan sealing things on the edges up front.
Boy, and Mike Hart's reading it beautifully. Michigan State is really flowing to action. Mike Hart is making the cutbacks, shallow cutbacks. Play starts a little bit toward right guard. Mike Hart busts it back over left tackle, and there's a lot of room because the backside guys are cutting the people in there, keeping the backside from making a play on a cutback.
Adam Stenovich just caved in Clifford Dukes on that last play. Here's Hart around the right side, cuts upfield and gets up near midfield where he is chopped down by Eric Smith and Jaron Hayes. Jaron Hayes will get credit for the stop. Gain of about 5 for Mike Hart. I'll tell you what, Hayes was the only guy there really If Mike gets by him somehow, it's nothing but green pasture ahead of him.
Right. One of the things you're seeing is Michigan State, I think, defensively with a similar game plan as the year ago. They don't want to give up the big play, so their safeties are staying back. Michigan has got to be patient offensively against, I think, this Spartan defense.
Avant, Breston, and Edwards all in the game. Breston moving in motion left, wide side of the field. Here's a bootleg right by Henne. He guns one to Massaquoi, and coming over the top, Harmon interferes with him. The pass incomplete. Flags fly, and Michigan will get a first down on the penalty.
The run action that time going to the left had Michigan State really flowing to the football. And Chad Henne on the rollout had plenty of room.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 25. Stock foul. Automatic. First down.
Penalty on Harmon, as we mentioned. Here's your officiating crew. That voice you heard from Jim Lapatina, the referee, Percy Munn, the umpire, Steve Beckmann, no relation, is the linesman, Dana McKenzie, the line judge, the field judge, Al Terry, Joe Duncan, the side judge, Jack Lyman, the back judge. Same crew 3 years ago at Michigan State's Spartan Stadium in that controversial game. Well, at least part of it is. They don't have the whole crew intact from back then 3 years ago. First down at the 42. Hart gives out a reverse, and here comes Braylon Edwards with blockers in front of him. 25 to the 20-yard line. Jaron Hayes, the corner, broke away from the block by Jason Avant, and look at Avant mad at himself for not staying with that block, which would have sprung Braylon for a touchdown on the reverse. As it is, he's at the 20-yard line, and Michigan is threatening. They've got a first down deep in Spartan territory after that 22-yard gain.
Well, let me tell you, that's not the misdirection, the last one you're going to see, because Michigan State is flowing so hard to action that the reverse, the misdirection plays, if Michigan State continues this kind of flow toward action, Michigan will hit them with more misdirection.
3 wideouts, Hart the only setback. Jermaine Gonzalez in the game. Here comes Hart breaking to his right. Open field, 15 to the 10, and he's hauled down at the 7-yard line by the linebacker, Ronald Stanley. 13 yards for Mike Hart. Another Michigan first down, and Mike Hart now has an even 1,000 yards on the season, continuing to set a new Michigan record for freshmen with every yard he gains on the ground.
Man, what a job he's doing of reading the play and getting that gentle, shallow cutback to an open territory.
High formation with 2 tight ends in the right hash now. First and goal at the 7. Here comes Hart, right up the middle. Touchdown, Michigan. Boy, Reuben Riley just laid the blade down, and so did Kevin Dudley. And the Wolverines are an extra point away from tying this one up.
The key to a whole drive is the offensive line and the ability to pound. And Frank, that time there wasn't anything fancy. It was a lead draw, and Kevin Dudley goes in there and buries the linebacker. And right behind him, Mike Hart reads it, bounces into the Spartan secondary and into the end zone.
Now the extra point is into the wind here by Garrett Rivas. He's missed 4 this year, and he's got a new holder, Adam Finley, and the kick is up and just inside that left upright and good. Now just so you know, Matt Gutierrez had shoulder surgery this week for that torn labrum. That injury that kept him from starting at quarterback, and he finally had the surgery, and now Adam Finley is back holding again because of that and did a good job there. The game is tied at 7. We have 7:50 to go in the first quarter after Michigan goes 80 yards in 8 plays. The dangerous return man, DeAndre Cobb, who had a touchdown from scrimmage of 72 yards on the opening drive for MSU, back deep for the kickoff by Troy Nienberg. And Nienberg's going to need Carl Tabb to come over and hold the ball on the tee because the wind keeps blowing it off. Cobb is averaging 23 yards a kickoff return. He had an 89-yard touchdown against Notre Dame. He's 6th all time in Big Ten annals with a 25-plus yard average. Wobbly kick to the far side. Cobb comes up, grabs it on the run at the 12 to the 20. Cuts left, 25 out to the 30, and a flag comes flying as Cobb goes down in the arms of Brandon Engelman at the 32. So this no doubt will be a penalty on Michigan State. Usually on the kickoff returns, if there's a flag, Jim, unless it's right on the tackle for a face mask, it's almost invariably on the return team.
Illegal block in the back on the return team. Number 41. 10-yard penalty in the spot of the foul. First down.
David Heron, the linebacker, is the guy getting yelled at on the sideline right now. Let's go downstairs to Steve Courtney about that extra point that was so close.
Francis, you were talking about Matt Gutierrez. Had a chance to talk to him before the game. The shoulder surgery went extremely well. He just wants everyone to know that when he comes back 6-7 months from now, he is going to compete. It's been a crazy season for Matt Gutierrez.
Oh, you betcha. He's a competitor. Jason Teague at tailback. Stanton out of the gun, firing near side on the move. It's complete to Terry Love, one of the many receivers he'll use, and Love is open at the 35-yard line for a first down, tackled by Scott McClintock, who's got great memories of the Michigan State game last year. McClintock's the one who had that end zone interception at the end that sealed it for the Wolverines. First down for the Spartans on their own 36. DeAndre Cobb back in there as the running back in the gun with Stanton. 3 wide receivers all to the right now. Ball's on the left hash. Blitz coming. Stanton to throw down the middle. He's got his tight end knocked. He's got it in Michigan territory. Hit by Shazer at the 45. Falls forward to the 43. Boy, they're making it look easy. That's 21 yards and a first down. Stanton with that real good arm.
He's got a very good arm, but the key there is that they're getting people open right away. Stanton is not having to look off anybody, and Michigan's staying pretty much in a zone. There is no real pressure. Stanton goes back 2-3 steps from the shotgun, stops, plants, and throws.
Up front, the Wolverines have got Massey, Harrison, Gabe Watson, and Woodley. And here's a play-action fake. Stanton rolling right. He's going to throw on the move, incomplete, intended for Shabai. And Eric Knott comes back towards Stanton, very demonstrative, saying something to his quarterback. I think he wanted the ball.
I think he felt that Stanton also could have run for decent yardage.
It's possible, too.
We talked before the game a lot about Stanton's ability to run, and Stanton that time got outside the Michigan defense and had room, chose to throw instead of run. And he is, what, the Spartans' leading rusher?
Yeah, he is. 454 yards. He's third in the Big Ten in total offense, 25th in the nation, 250 yards a game, 410 total yards against Minnesota. He's rolling right to throw. He can take off, and he does. Down to the 40, and Shazer shoves him out of bounds around the 32. It's going to be close to a first down, and I think he's got it.
Well, there you go. Same play. He breaks the perimeter of the Michigan defense. No contain over there. As the Spartans go max protect, seal the defensive end, get Stanton out on the edge, and this time, instead of Stanton throwing into coverage, he turns upfield and runs. Good adjustment by Michigan State from one play to the next.
7-7 our score, 6:52 to go here in the first quarter in Ann Arbor. MSU's on the move again. They're on the Michigan 32 right hash. Stanton up under center this time, has 2 tight ends in the lineup. Cobb the only setback. He's going to run option right now. He pulls back to throw. He tucks it and runs. Gets down to the 30. Is drilled there by Shazer. Shakes that off. Keeps going down to the 27, where Pat Massey finally hit him and brought him down.
That time the Spartans were playing for the big play because they went down the line of scrimmage like it was an option. They want Michigan to play option football, and Michigan didn't bite. Their secondary stayed with the receivers, forced Stanton to keep the ball and get 5 yards out of it.
Jason Teague is in it, that tailback spot now. He's 5'9", 193. You can tell him he's got a lot of hair hanging out from underneath that helmet. 4 wide receivers for the Spartans. Stanton's in the gun. Second down, 5 to go on the Michigan 27. A lot of shuffling by the Wolverines up front. And they're going to run a quarterback draw, and Stanton will get about a yard, maybe 2 at the most. That was sort of that Northwestern play, that bunch in the backfield where the quarterback and the running back come together in the shotgun. Then they separate. One goes right, one goes left, and you got to figure out which one's got the ball. Stanton gets 1 third down and 4 at the Michigan 26.
Stanton's been very good at that play, too. That's one of the plays that has really helped him get to the lead on his team as the top running guy with the football.
Michigan goes to the dime defense, and the Spartans split 3 receivers wide. Stanton in the gun with Teague as running back, gets the snap, rolling right on the option, inside pitch to Shabai, and he's down to the 20, tumbles forward. He's got a first down to the 18-yard line.
Does that look familiar? It's a play San Diego State ran against Michigan,
Yep.
where it's an option or shovel pass either way. He goes right. He's got Teague behind him. He can option to, or Shabai, who runs the wing, comes back across the formation, and Stanton can pitch it forward to him, a little shovel pass.
And I want you to know, Leon Hall had his face mask grabbed by a man trying to block him right there. Nobody saw it. Spartans got away with one. Here's Stanton rolling right. He's going to throw short. Got knocked wide open. He juggled the ball. Great job. Pins it to his hip. Turns upfield and gets down to the 10 where he runs out of bounds. 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2 coming up.
The Michigan State run action there is what makes that play. And the thing that has to concern Jim Herman and the Michigan defensive coaches, Stanton has been able to get on the edge, really attack the perimeter, and get outside with very little pressure in his face.
4:54 to go first quarter. 7-7 tie, but the Spartans are threatening. They're down at the Michigan 10. 2nd down and 2. Stanton directly under center. Now he's got J.U. Kalkrick in the backfield with him. Hands it to him straight up the middle for a first down. But there are flags flying in there. And so we'll see whether this play stands. If it does, it's 1st and goal at the 5. But the right guard, William Whitaker, might have been grabbing somebody in there. We'll see if it's him, number 76, holding the call on the Spartans.
Holding on the offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty.
And that's who it is, William Whitaker. So that's going to move the ball back to the 20-yard line. 2nd down and 12. The Spartans have 4 penalties for 34 yards already. Michigan has no penalties so far. 4 wideouts for MSU. They flood 3 to the left, the wide side of the field. And Stanton pitches the ball. Here's an end around now. And Aaron Alexander's going to throw into the end zone, and Grant Mason turns around, knocks the ball down, but there's a flag, and interference will be the call. The intended receiver in the end zone was Terry Love. They ran the reverse with Aaron Alexander. The wide receiver wound up with it, and then he threw the pass, and Grant Mason interfered in the end zone with Terry Love.
That's too bad, too, because Grant, if he turns around earlier.
On a defense. Number 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
It's too bad because if Grant Mason turns around earlier, it's an underthrown ball, and he gets an interception.
The walk-off takes the ball to the 5-yard line. 1st down and goal from there. 4:30 to go first quarter. 7-7 tie, but the Spartans knock it at the door. And they'll spread the field with 5 wideouts. Stanton in the shotgun. And, well, this got quarterback draw written all over it.
Now Michigan's got a guy back in the middle. Mundy's in the middle.
Stanton's going to run a quarterback sweep to the right. He gets down to the 1 and fights forward. Is he in the end zone or not? We're waiting for a call from the officials, and I believe they marked him down just shy of the goal line.
That's just a quarterback sweep, Frank.
Leon Hall stopped him. Well, Stanton is a big guy.
Oh, yeah.
6'3" and 225, and we've already seen him run right through Ernest Chazor once. And this time he took on Leon Hall, 191. Stanton outweighs him by 35 pounds nearly.
That ball can't get any closer to the goal line,
I'll tell you what, I watched the replay. I thought he was in. Stanton up under center. He's got Teague behind him.
They're going to get a replay on this, Frank. They might.
I'll tell you what.
The previous play.
Yeah, they're going to review that previous play. The replay seemed to show he was in the end zone.
I mean, I don't know how the ball can get any closer to the end zone right now where they marked him down.
The last time we had a game with Jim Lapatina's crew with that Indiana, remember, we had 3 replays in that ball game.
Yeah, but 2 of them were plays they shouldn't have reviewed. This is a proper play to review. It is a scoring play, and you can review this. And the referee in the press box is the guy that buzzes Lapatina on the field.
Well, the key was his knee down before the ball got to the goal line and broke the plane. And tough to tell from that view that we just saw. Now there's another view from the front side, if we see it, where it looked like he was in. Stay tuned during the post-game show. We'll bring you the defensive play of the game, brought to you by Gutter Helmet. Jim, here's a replay that I think is going to show it to you. We'll take a look, and we see Stanton diving forward, Hall on him. Well, his left arm might have been on the ground before the ball got to the goal line.
It's really close, and I think the key words here are indisputable visual evidence from the replay.
Could go either way.
It could go either way. I think, for instance, if they'd have ruled it a touchdown, I'm not sure there's indisputable visual evidence to overturn it. And by ruling it not a touchdown, I'm not so sure that there's indisputable visual evidence to show that it isn't a score.
I think he was down.
Yeah, his left
Just
wrist,
shy.
his left wrist and left forearm clearly touches the ground prior to the ball crossing the plane. So this will be an interesting call. Could go either way, and to be honest with you, Frank, I don't think I'd have an argument either way.
No. Second down and goal if he didn't get in from inches away. 3:52 to play here in the first quarter. 7-7's our score.
The play. The call on the field stands. It's going to be second down.
The Spartans
1 yard.
already, Jim, have 100 yards rushing. And Michigan has 101. Second down and goal. Stanton has Jason Teague behind him. Two tight ends. On the right, Jason Randall. On the left, Matt Walters. One receiver in the game split wide left. That's Aaron Alexander. He's bump and run with Marlon Jackson. Eric Knott, a third tight end on a wing left. Going in motion right. Now he bounces back left. Stanton fumbled the snap. Goes back to grab it at the 5, and he's buried by Woodley and Van Alstyne. And that was almost a disaster for MSU.
That's why the replay was huge.
That's why it's a game of inches in football.
Absolutely, and I, for one, don't know why they just didn't sneak it. Stanton, as we've said, is a big kid, 6'3", 2 1/4. You got an inch to go. Why not just sneak him over your right guard?
I'm not sure what he was going to do with that ball. He got away right from the get-go. Now they'll split 4 receivers out from the 5-yard line. Third down and goal.
This is where you've got to watch quarterback draw.
Michigan is shadowing Stanton with Mundy again. He gets the snap. He runs quarterback draw. He breaks a tackle and dives into the end zone for a touchdown. Oh, man, they had him and could not contain him, and Drew Stanton from 5 yards out puts the Spartans back on top. Ryan Mundy missed him.
And that's a play you cannot make. You've got to make that play when you've got to defend it, or you've got a shadow on a guy. You know, quarterback draw happens when you spread a team out. Mundy had him perfectly unblocked, but when you don't make the play when it's there, it can cost you, and it cost Michigan that time a Michigan State touchdown as Stanton took it in from 5.
It's almost like they knew the play was calling. They just didn't stop it. So Rayner will try the extra point. Kick is up and good. 79 yards in 11 plays for MSU. Spartans 14, Wolverines 7. And now MSU will kick it back to Michigan, which punted the ball away the first time they had it, and then went 80 yards in 8 plays the next time. It looks like it's going to be the last team with the ball wins.
The way it's going, you're looking at your basic shootout.
Preston and Grant Mason are back deep for Dave Rayner's kick. If that even becomes important, because with the wind, Rayner has booted 2 of them right through the end zone. And he'll do it again here. So the Wolverines start for the 3rd time on their own 20-yard line.
Ball through the end zone, a touchback. Michigan will put it in play at the 20.
Stay tuned to the post-game show. We'll pick the local Chrysler and Jeep dealers drive of the game. Mike Hart has 71 yards in 8 carries. And he'll be back out there with Chad Henne and the Michigan offense now. The Wolverines going into that stiff breeze that is blowing steadily at about 30 miles an hour and gusting even higher. 4 wideouts for Michigan. Jermaine Gonzalez out to the right along with Breston in the slot. To the left, Edwards in the slot, Avant wide. Hart the only setback. Henne under center. Dropping to throw on first down. Looking left, it's a screen to Hart. He's got it at the 20 and he's tripped up at the 22-yard line on a real nice play by Terrell Dortch, the outside linebacker. He shed a block to make the stop after a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, Mike's got to do a better job of getting back off of the block so he can read it. Too close to the blocker, when the block is thrown, that defender can cause a problem. You can't leap over it. Got to get in better phase, give a little bit more space between you and the blocker, make a cut off the block.
Massaquoi in at tight end, Dudley at fullback, Power to the right in the backfield, Edwards and Avant the wideouts. Draw play, Hart right side into the pile, and this time he doesn't come out of it. He got about 2 to the 24 as the Spartans jam him up inside. 3rd and 6 coming up. 2:05 to go first quarter. Michigan State with the lead, 14-7. And the Spartans tightening up that defense this time around. They're going to go to their nickel defense now. They bring in Ashton Watson and Greg Cooper into that secondary. And Michigan will split 4 men out. Edwards to the short side left, Massaquoi, Avant, and Breston to the right. Hart in the backfield, Henny to throw. Looking, fires near side, incomplete to Avant. And again, the wind knocked that ball down. You can see it clearly. And Chad did not adjust with his throw. It brings up 4th down, and Michigan has to punt again.
Yeah, playing the ball, I think throwing the ball toward the sidelines, Frank, is going to be extremely difficult.
In that direction.
Yeah, that's going to sail on you, and it's basically going to pound the ball into the ground. It's done it twice now to Chad Henne.
Agim Shabai will sit back there at his own 45 for the punt by Adam Finley. He had 41 yards on his first kick. The Spartans come after it, and they partially block this kick. Ball bouncing out at the 30-yard line. Pat Massey will down it there, and Michigan State gets great field position. There is a flag down back at the 15-yard line. And they're calling it roughing the kicker. Apparently they did not block the kick. They only hit Finley. And there's a break for the Wolverines.
Huge break for Michigan.
I thought they blocked the punt, and that's what Michigan State is claiming. The call is roughing the kicker, and Michigan keeps the football.
But they're claiming that he did not get a piece of the ball. And John L. Smith is livid.
And now the Spartans are calling a timeout. They want the booth to try to review this, I guess.
After the review,
that's his say.
There is indisputable video evidence that shows that number 53 tipped the. You cannot have to foul the kicker tip the kick. Ball will go over to Michigan State at the 30-yard line. First down.
And that's the proper call. And Michigan State will get it on the Michigan 30 with a 14-7 lead and 1:21 remaining in the first quarter. Well, now that defense got to dig in for the Wolverines. MSU has had the ball twice and has gone 80 yards and 79 yards for scores. And the Wolverines are in danger of falling 2 scores behind.
And clearly one of the things that Jim Herman must do is figure this offense out of Michigan State, because Drew Stanton has been able to get out on the edge and really do a nice job attack the perimeter of the Michigan defense.
Alan Branch, the freshman, in the lineup in that defensive front for the first time. Stanton in the gun. He's looking right. He fires that little screen underneath, and it is caught. And look at the play by McClintock, wrapping up the wide receiver Kyle Brown for a loss on the 35. Tried that wide receiver screen again and lost 5 yards, but every time Michigan State has had a negative play, they bounce back with a big one and overcome it.
Well, clearly the bubble screen Michigan has defended very well.
Massey was out there too in a hurry. Up front, you've got Massey among the Big Ten leaders with 5 sacks. Watson and Branch and Woodley now in the 3-point stance. Stanton under center brings Shabai in motion. Now Shabai goes back the other way. Stanton on a draw gives it DeAndre Cobb, and Lawrence Reed is up to plug the hole and haul him down after a 2-yard gain to the 33. And the left guard Kyle Cook lost his helmet. 3rd down and 13 coming up for MSU. They've got the wind at their back. Here we go. 32 seconds left in the quarter. Stanton in the gun. 3 wideouts flood the wide side left. DeAndre Cobb in that gun with him. He's going into the flat right and up the field, and Stanton lays it out to him. He's open and he overthrows him.
Boy,
the wind carried that ball after DeAndre Cobb ran right by Lawrence Reed.
He had the matchup he wanted, a very, very fast back in DeAndre Cobb. Man coverage with Lawrence Reed, the linebacker. Perfect call. Stanton just could not get the ball in there. The wind a factor. Otherwise, it's a touchdown.
You betcha. Well, the wind affected Henny's throws, knocking them down, and that time it sailed Stanton's throw. So a 50-yard field goal try by Dave Rayner. His career long is 53. As long as this year is 46. He's 12 out of 17 on the season. The kick is from the right hash. Some trouble with the spot by Fields, but he got it down. Rayner's kick is up. It is high enough and long enough, but it's wide and no good. And the problem with the snap might have cost them right there. Brandon Fields had trouble getting the ball down. And Rayner misses a 50-yard field goal. And with 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it's still 14-7, and the Wolverines defense comes up big after the block punt.
Well, if you're wondering about distance, he had all the distance in the world on that one. Probably could have gone from 60 that direction. Rayner's a great kicker. That time, the hold and the direction were off. Michigan dodges a 3-point attempt by Michigan State after a blocked punt.
So the Wolverines have the football on their own 34-yard line, and here comes Hart. He breaks a tackle at the line, bursts through there, and gets up to the 40-yard line. Picked up about 6 yards. Clifton Ryan made the stop, and that should be the final play of the first quarter, and it will be. Michigan will get the wind in the second period. Our first quarter is in the books in the backyard brawl for 2004. Michigan State 14, Michigan 7. Teams change ends. You're listening to Michigan football. Michigan's ball here to start the second quarter. 2nd and 4 on their own 40. They're on their left hash with Chad Henne at quarterback, Mike Hart at tailback, Breston split out to the left, Avan to the right, Braylon Edwards slot right, and the tight end Massaquoi on the left. 4-man front for MSU. They're showing blitz up there. Let's see if they come. Henne working with the wind now. Spartans pull out of that blitz look. Hand off to Hart around the left side. Turns upfield, 45. Tripped up near midfield by Roderick Maples. Fighting off the block by Stenovich. First down, Michigan.
Get a holding call, though, on Tim Massaquoi.
Oh, I didn't see that. Flag back there at the 36. So this one's coming back. It's going to really hurt.
On the offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
And 88, of course, is Tim Massaquoi, as Jim mentioned. That'll move the ball back to the 30-yard line. And it's going to be 2nd down and 14.
Massaquoi working a seal block on the defensive end, and you've got to get your head across in front and pound him down. Massaquoi got beat, had to use his hands to take the defensive end back down inside.
That defensive end, Clifford Dukes, who was getting sealed early in the game, not now. Edwards right, Avant motion that way. Hard play action fake. Henne to throw under pressure, fires incomplete for Massaquoi. Vickerson was coming hard and laid Henne out. And he's got a few words for him in greeting afterwards, too. Kevin Vickerson, the 295-pound senior tackle out of Detroit, Martin Luther King.
Yeah, the run fake to the right at Vickerson over there to the right, but Michigan didn't hold the block long enough. And again, the pass to the sideline, that wind is causing problems. It's sailing. That was high and wide of Massaquoi.
Yeah, that was full flaps on that one. 3rd down. 14 to go. Michigan on its own 30. 3 wideouts all to the right. Edwards, Breston, and Avant. Here comes Breston in motion. And Henne dropping to throw. He's looking right. He fires on a seam right through the hands of Braylon Edwards at the 45. That was a fastball, and it broke the webbing on his mitt.
Plus,
4th down.
Jason Avant was right underneath him. This is the second week in a row we've seen Avant and Edwards in a very similar area. And you don't like bringing defenders in the same spot.
He was open, though, Jim.
Both of them were, and I think actually Jason Avant got a hand up and may have interfered a little bit with Braylon.
Well, the ball was behind Jason, and he sort of turned back for it and didn't finish his route. Finley to punt it to Shabai. Spartans rushing hard again. The kick is away with the wind. He boomed it. Shabai back. This ball hits the 15. He goes back, grabs it on the 3. Turns upfield, breaks to his right. He's to the 15. He's out to the 20. Flags fly. There are all kinds of blocks in the back. Shabai tackled at the 25-yard line. I saw at least 2 blocks in the back. Pierre Woods on the tackle.
Apparently
Jim
the referees
Fisher as well.
Apparently the referee saw the same thing.
was a 67-yard punt
That shows
with
you
the wind.
how big that wind is.
Easily the longest punt of the year for
On
Finley.
the return team, number 27, 10-yard penalty. Just half distance to the goal from the bottom of the five. First down.
The wind's wreaking havoc with our referee Jim Lapatina's microphone too. So we get timeout on the field. 14-11 to go here in the first half. Michigan State 14, Michigan 7. Michigan State lines up 3 wide. Shazer coming up in the line of scrimmage. Handoff to Colquitt going left, trying to get wide, and Woodley's out there with him in the backfield and drags him down for a loss around the 6. Boy, is he having a year too, huh?
Yeah, he's having a great year. I just don't think that Michigan State's going to go to the well going wide with Colquitt. If you're going to go wide, use Cobb or T. Colquitt's your guy at 235 that can pound you between the tackles. Michigan's defense also has the quickness to play the perimeter.
A loss of 3 back to the 7-yard line. They're going into the wind, remember. And now they got Jason Teague in there at the running back spot. Here's the blitz, and here's Stanton rolling right. He flips it on the bootleg to not breaking a tackle by Mundy out to the 15-yard line. And boy, I'll tell you, Ryan Mundy missed a tackle earlier on Stanton's touchdown run and almost let Eric Knott get away right there. That'll be a gain of about 9 to the 16, set up 3rd down and 4.
The key to the Michigan State attack has been their run action. Their run has been successful. So Michigan has got to respect that. And when they fake it and roll Stanton away, Stanton is buying himself a lot of time to throw the ball.
3rd and 4 on the 16. 4 wide for the Spartans. Stanton in the gun. He's got Teague back there with him. Michigan playing bump and run on the wide out. Stanton's going to run it off the right side into the open field. Mundy hits him over the 30, Stanton to the 35. That was just a design quarterback run. Off right tackle out of the shotgun, and Stanton went 19 yards.
And he also had the option back out there, so he could pitch it if he wanted. That's the beauty of this offense. Stanton at 225 is the extra running back. And the pitch back is in phase. If you go out to get him, Stanton will turn it up inside. And that really is a play that looks like it goes right off tackle.
So the Spartans move it out from a big hole back on their own 10. First down on the 35. They're on the right hash. 3 players, wide right, handoff Teague. He breaks through the line, up over the 40, fighting through Mundy's tackle, up over midfield to the Michigan 48. That'll be a gain of 17 yards. McClintock finally helped Ryan Mundy out. And Ryan's not having a real good tackling game.
No, he isn't. And that's the key to the defense. If you're going to play against this club, you're going to have some one-on-one matchups. And you've got to be able to make the play. And right now, Michigan's defense is not making the play. Michigan State's offense is.
Well, Jim Prescott Burgess is in there right now. He was an inside linebacker for Lawrence Reed. He just totally missed the tackle right in the hole. And now Reed's back in there. First down on the Michigan 48. 3 wideouts flood the left side. Here's Stanton to throw. He's going down the middle. He's got his tight end, Jason Randall, carrying tacklers with him inside the 25, down to the Michigan 19-yard line. 29 yards to the tight end, Randall.
And Ernest Shazor is slow to get up, and he missed that tackle.
And Stanton had all sorts of time. Michigan State is tops in the Big Ten, allowing only 5 sacks all year. And they're keeping people away from Drew Stanton.
Well, they get the ball out quickly, too. It's not like he's getting a 2-step drop, and he's getting rid of the ball on time.
4 wide receivers. Stanton and the Spartans first down. The Michigan 19, option right. Stanton keeps it to a big hole to the 10. Puts his shoulder down at the 5 and is dragged down at the 4 by Mundy and by Shazer. First down, goal to go, 15 more yards.
Well, Stanton again proving that he can run the ball, and that's that same play. It's off tackle. The quarterback, he gets into the secondary real quickly. It's the option look, but the option back is way wide covered, and Stanton's got a huge hole inside.
First and goal. Here's the toss sweep to the right. Cutting upfield, DeAndre Cobb through traffic to the 1-yard line. And that's where he's brought down by Reed. And Shazer and Gabe Watson out there. Second and goal from the 1 coming up. Michigan State leads 14-7 and is driving again. They started this possession on their own 10.
Well, all season long, this Michigan defense has answered the bell. But right now, it appears as though the Spartans have their number.
Aaron Alexander, the only wideout, split to the left. The 3 tight end look with Knott on a wing left. DeAndre Cobb, the only running back. Wide side of the field is the left. And that's where Knott is. Stanton's going to run it to the right on a quarterback keeper out of the option look, and he's got no place to go. Van Alstyne and McClintock will stop him, and Massey at the bottom of the pile. 3rd down and goal for MSU on the Michigan 1. 10.5 to play in the half. 14-7, Spartans lead.
The other thing the Michigan State does on the goal line a lot, they use their tight ends. The tight ends will fake down blocking, look like they're blocking, and then they'll sift into the secondary.
3rd and goal, right hash, 1 yard line.
And you got 3 tight ends in the game right now.
Single setback Cobb, not the wing back in motion right, goes back left, toss sweep. Cobb going left, trying to get to the corner. Hemmed in at the 5. Woodley's got him, along with Prescott Burgess out there. Woodley drags him down for a loss. 4th down coming up. What a job by the defense.
Great job by the defense.
Lamar Woodley, who was the subject of a fierce recruiting battle, chose Michigan over Michigan State. Comes up with a big play for a 5-yard loss, and out comes Dave Renner to try a field goal again.
And that's a play where you had Cobb in the game and they decided to go wide. Michigan's defense was still quick enough to get outside to stop their speed back from breaking the perimeter.
Into the wind from 22 yards away, left hash. Rayner will try it. Fields, good snap this time. Puts it down. The kick is on the way, and it is good. 22-yard field goal by Dave Rayner. And the Spartans lead by 10, 17-7. And the clock's still running. There was 9:15 left. It's still going. So we'll let them sort that out later. We'll take time out. Michigan State 17, Michigan 7. You're listening to Michigan football. 17-7, MSU on top. And now Breston and Grant Mason go deep for the kickoff by Dave Rayner into the wind. I just saw the monitor. They're showing a couple people are here dressed in Santa Claus outfits.
Well, it's a little too early for that.
A little too warm.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to Thanksgiving.
Here's Rayner's kick into that stiff wind. End over end toward the far side. Breston goes over, grabs it on the 5, almost stepped out of bounds. 10, 15, 20, breaks left, looking for some room and can't find it to the 22. And that's where he's brought down.
Steve might have been
he lets that go
better
out of
served
bounds.
to let it go out of bounds.
You bet.
But he's a kid, he wants to make a play. So you understand exactly why he catches the ball.
Michigan on its own 22-yard line, trailing now 17-7 with 9:03 to go in the half. And Michigan State is dominating this contest right now on both sides of the ball. They've doubled Michigan in yardage, 240 to 120. Michigan had those big holes running it early, and they haven't had them on their last couple of possessions. You've got Hart and Dudley and the power left in the backfield, offset I. Here comes Avant in motion left where Edwards is set. Henny turns, fakes it to Hart, drops to throw, fires to the sideline. Oh, almost intercepted off the hands of Massaquoi, almost right into the arms of the safety, Jason Harmon, who was intent on making a hit. If he looks up, that ball's right in his hands, and he's got a touchdown.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is that Massaquoi's got 3 people all over him. And Chad's looking at receivers, and Michigan State's got the guys covered. And with Braylon Edwards out there in man coverage, it looked like with Roderick Maples. You want to try to get Braylon the ball. He's that playmaker that we've talked about so often.
Henny completed 4 of his first 5. Now he's missed 4 in a row. 2nd down and 10 on the 22. Ball on the right hash. Henny to throw again. He's looking, pumps, fires in the flat, got it to Hart. Sidesteps a man and falls at the 22, no gain. 3rd down and 10. Chad's looking a little confused back there.
Well, the one thing that they haven't done, and they start with a first down throw on this play, or this series, they've gotten themselves into 3rd and longs. They've not run the ball like they did in that drive that they were going into the wind where they scored their 1 touchdown.
Breston to the left, Avant slot right, and Edwards wide right. Henny under center with Hart behind him. Spartans change
Corner
up the
blitz.
line. Big blitz coming. Hart picks it up. Henny got to hurry. Here comes Stanley, and he's got the sack. the middle linebacker, Ronald Stanley, got through. Hart picked up the one blitz from the corner, but Stanley got loose, and Henny never got a chance to deliver the ball to a wide open Jason Avant down the middle of the field. And so the Wolverines suffer their 21st sack of the year. And second in the Big Ten, second most. And out comes Finley to punt with 7:45 to go in the half. Shabai is deep again. Had him with the wind last time, booted at 67 yards. He could use another right here. Not as good. End over end to the near side. Hits the 50, makes a left turn out of bounds at the Spartan 48. That's only a 39-yard kick by Adam Finley. He won't like that into the wind. And so you've got State with the ball on its own 48, leading Michigan 17-7 midway through this second quarter and gaining confidence by the minute. All right, set to go. Spartan football on their own 48. They've got a 10-point lead. They bunch three receivers on the left side of the line. They got Jason Teague in the backfield. They're going to run an option play. Stanton's going to keep it. Got running room to the 45, out of bounds around the 40 of Michigan. They're going to mark it at the 41, 11 yards, first down. And Stanton is continuing to do the job. He's got 67 yards on 10 carries.
And again, the key is he's getting to the perimeter. He's getting wide. That time Michigan had Jeremy Van Alstine in at that left defensive end, and he did not get upfield enough, got sealed inside, and Stanton got outside with one man. And that one man takes the pitch back, then Stanton turns upfield and gets yardage.
Van Alstine up front with Harrison, Gabe Watson, and Lamar Woodley. Michigan got the nickel defense in there. Curry is the fifth back with three receivers split wide. Out of the gun, Stanton firing to the wide receiver Love on the left side. He's got it inside the 40, and look at the hustle by Woodley to get out there and drag him down on the 37 after a gain of about 4. So Terry Love making that grab, and that'll be his second catch of the game. Stanton is already hit, what is it, Marty, 6 different receivers? Yeah, 6 different receivers in the game, 7.
Oh, he's thrown it to a bunch of guys.
And that's been the story of their season. They've been doing that all year long. 2nd and 6 on the 37 of Michigan, left hash mark. Wolverines playing bump and run on the 3 wideout. Stanton right up under center, fakes the ball to Teague. Bootleg left to throw. Woodley just got flipped down the pass, left sideline, incomplete.
How can he miss
down
that?
There for the wide receiver Jeremy Scott. Woodley
had his arm dragged, and he had to flip around. I mean, Eric Knott just undressed him right in front of the official.
3rd down coming up, 6 to go at the 37. Ball on the left hash, and here come the Spartans. They'll split Scott out to the right. Stanton in the gun. He's going to run option left. He pitches the ball to Cobb. Cobb's got running room. Flags are thrown. Cobb's down inside the 20 all the way to the 15. But I think you got holding on either Knott or Wheeler. Number 4 or 72 against Lawrence Reed. And this is coming back.
Again, it was right out over there again where Woodley was held. This time they catch Wheeler tackling Lawrence Reed.
Legal block in the back on the offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still 3rd down.
So they call it on Wheeler. That'll be the 6th penalty on the Spartans for 54 yards.
Well, that was where Cobb was able to cut the ball back up inside because Reed was out there in position, and Wheeler just came and shoved him from the back.
Penalty moves the ball all the way back to the 46-yard line.
Now, inside the tackle box, Frank, that's an okay play. You can get a guy in the back, but you can't do it outside the box.
They've got to get down to the 31 for a first down, so it's 3rd and 15. 3 wideouts to the right. Stanton in the gun from the left hash. Gets the snap, sets the throw, runs quarterback draw, and he is hit and goes down after Watson chopped him at the 39-yard line. Gabe Watson peeling off a block to make the tackle. 4th down. MSU will send out the punt unit for the first time in the ballgame. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Spartans lead it 17-7.
And Michigan going with a safe punt return unit, which means they are aware of possible trickery by the Spartans here. They're at the 39-yard line of Michigan.
And that's a good spot to try a fake.
It sure is.
8 to go, 4th and 8. The snap back to Fields, and he tries to line drive a kick and almost hit his center. It bounces to Breston back on the 15. Upfield he comes, 20 up near the 25. He'll be thrown to the ground, and they'll mark it on the 23. And he did very well with it. That one wasn't so pretty, and it gave Breston a chance to run it back, although he didn't get far. Michigan's ball on its own 22, 5:26 to go in the first half. Michigan State leads 17-7. Offset eye, power short side left. Here comes Hart. Good block by Dudley. Hart's into the secondary, 30, 35, out near the 40-yard line where Maples brought him down. First down, Michigan. They'll give him about 17 on the play.
Glad to see go first down and run the football. In the last couple possessions, I think with the wind, Michigan felt like let's try to take advantage of the wind and throw the ball. But their running game is the key to the offense. You've got to be balanced. And Michigan State, if they can't stop it, force them to bring that safety up. That's where the pass game will open up.
Give him 18 yards to the 40. First down there for Michigan. And here he comes again, and this time Hart is met in the backfield and knocked back for a loss by Clifton Ryan, the defensive end.
Well, Tim Massaquoi has got to try to get that block, but the problem is that he's lined up inside of Massaquoi, and he's really crashing down toward the ball. And that's a tough block to ask the tight end to make on an inside play. There's where you get the defensive end crashing down, or you fake that play inside and bust it outside of him.
10-point lead, Michigan State. 4:30 to go in the half. 2nd and 11, Michigan on its own 39, near the left hash mark. Both wideouts go to the right. Avant wide, coming in motion now inside of Braylon Edwards. Hart gets the fake on the draw. Henne rolling right to throw. Behind Reuben Riley. Flips it short behind Massaquoi, his tight end, who was wide open just 5 or 6 yards in front of him. And Chad just threw it very, very poorly.
And I think Chad thought, or Massaquoi might have thought, that Chad was going to break outside and run with it. So he was kind of turning upfield, and that's when Henne delivered the ball. Massaquoi had to turn around and try to make adjustment to the ball, and it was well behind him.
3rd and 11. And the Wolverines break the huddle. They got Hart in the backfield, 3 wide. Ecker in at tight end. He split a little bit to the right, so 4 wide out. Spartans 6 men spread across the line. Henne under center, drops to throw. 6 come with a blitz. Henne is hit, tries to pull away, and he's sacked on the 34 by David Herron Jr. The initial pressure came from Clifton Ryan, and then Herron finished him off. 2nd sack by the Spartans. And Henne looks a little confused right now, and the Wolverines look to be in a bit of trouble, trailing 17-7 with under 4 minutes to go in the half. They've got a punt.
Yeah, Henne wanted to go to Braylon Edwards, who was single covered, and the protection just broke down.
Finley to punt it to Agim Shabai. The snap by Ross Mann, and the kick is away with the wind, and he hammers one, and this time they roughed him. Shabai dropped the ball. It's loose at the 20, and MSU recovers. But the Wolverines are going to keep the football. Sir Darian Adams recovered the fumble by Shabai back there at the 20. But
now this is not a, oh, it will be a.
This is going to be a roughing the kicker call. Or is it running into the kicker?
Well, it's running into the kicker, but he pointed first down.
Yeah, it's a first down anyways, I believe, isn't it, Jim?
It's a 5-yard penalty. That's what he's pointing over to Lloyd Carr about, and I don't believe it's going to be a first down. The personal foul is an automatic first down.
Right.
But just running into the kicker.
So they might just give the Spartans the ball down there on the 20.
Yeah.
Into the kicker on a defense, number 15. The penalty is going to be declined. First down.
And that's the deal, because if it's a personal foul, it's an automatic first down. But just running into the kicker, again, a judgment call by the official, it is not an automatic first down. So Michigan will put Michigan State back at the 20. 3:33 left to play here in the half. Wolverines trail 10.
Travis Key was the man who bumped into Finley, and he was trying to avoid him. He was being blocked and was off balance and just clipped him a little in the upper body.
Right.
So it's a good call.
And the key here is, with Michigan's 3 timeouts left, you want to, stop Michigan State 3 and out. This is the big challenge for the defense because they would have to punt into the wind.
They trail 17-7, Michigan does. 3:33 to go in the half. Kalkrick, the big fella's in there at running back. And he gets the handoff. He tries left tackle and gets 2 to the 22. Alan Branch at the bottom of the pile along with Pat Massey, and Michigan uses the first of its 3 timeouts with 3:26 to go in the first half. 17-7, MSU in the lead. Stanton in the gun. He hands the ball to Kalkrick on a draw in the gun, and he goes down right at the line. Watson plugged it up along with Massey. Michigan calls timeout, has 1 remaining, 3:21 to go in the half. 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, Gabe Watson that time just buried the center back up into the backfield and broke up the play right there.
So Michael Hart's second all-time high school career, 11,045 yards. The all-time record holder had 11,232 yards between 1950 and 1953. And it's a neat story. The fella's name was Ken Hall. He got a scholarship from Bear Bryant to go to Texas A&M, never got beyond that. Ken Hall went on to have a barbecue store that he ran down in Texas. He went to Sugarland High School and was nicknamed the Sugarland Express.
And they made a movie called The Sugarland Express,
they did.
I think, with Goldie Hawn.
Yes, they did. Well, the Sugarland Express, what's really cool about the whole deal, 4 years ago, they came up with a high school Heisman, you know, and guess who they designed the fella on the trophy after? They designed him after the Sugarland Express, Ken Hall. The only guy who got more high school yards than Mike Hart.
It's a nice story.
Well, nice big play right here. 3rd down and 8. Michigan State on its own 22. 3 receivers wide. Stanton in the shotgun. He's got DeAndre Cobb back there with him. Now they flood the left side. Stanton runs to the right on the option. Turns upfield, tackled from behind at the 28 by guess who? Lamar Woodley, who's having a sensational game. 4th down and 2 coming up, and Stanton is
hurt.
down. Oh boy.
Oh, that hurts Michigan State big time.
Stanton, who is such a warrior, is grasping his right shoulder. And Jim, we talked earlier this week, if there was one nightmare that John L. Smith had about his team, it was that against a tough physical defense like Michigan, that his quarterback, upon whom he relies so much, could get hurt.
Well, it was a clean tackle.
Oh yeah, he just landed
Stanton
on the shoulder.
just landed on the point of the shoulder. Ouch.
And he got up to the seated position, and then the pain hit, and he went right down.
And it was Woodley coming from the backside.
Yep.
Got a good solid tackle, took him down, and he landed right on the point of the right shoulder.
Stanton walks off the field, that right shoulder drooped down. And by the way, this week, it wasn't Stephen Reeves who worked number 2 on the Spartans depth chart. It was Damon Dowdell. So if Stanton can't go on, we are told Damon Dowdell will replace him, and he's a running quarterback too.
Well, that's one of the things that you worry about as a coach when your quarterback, who is a runner, you know, gets into some heavy traffic.
Meantime, Brandon Fields comes out to punt to Steve Preston into the wind. Michigan used its final timeout. 3:15 to go in the half. The snap to Fields. He'll kick it away. A low line drive kick to the far side, and it goes out of bounds around the 45-yard line of Michigan. So only a 27-yard punt by Fields. And that's what happens into the wind. You try to kick it low and try to kick it away from Breston. Gives Michigan great field position late in the half. And let's see if Chad Henne can figure out what they're doing to him defensively. Later in the postgame show, we'll bring you the Lloyd Carr Show, which is, of course, brought to you by the mortgage experts at Rock Financial. You got Dudley and Hart in the backfield, offset eye power to the right. Michigan going from our right to left. They've got the wind at their back. That's south to north here in Michigan Stadium. Out wide to the left, both wideouts, Avant and Edwards. And here's a handoff to Hart right up the middle to a big hole all the way to the Spartan 44-yard line where Jason Harmon, the safety, makes the stop 11 yards downfield. First down, Michigan. Hart over 100 yards. He's at 108 in 13 carries.
Michigan did a great job using their timeouts on the previous Spartan possession. They've still got 3 minutes to go in this game, or in this first half. So good job of clock management, using your timeouts on defense.
2:50 to go in the half, clock running. And wind shifted a little bit now too, it seems. Ball still on the right hash. Here's Henny to throw. Blitz coming. He fires. Outcut. Left side. Avant tumbles and falls while making the catch at the 33 of MSU. First down, 11 yards on that throw. Henny to Avant. And that is only the third catch by a Michigan wide receiver in the ballgame. Henny is 6 out of 12 for 26 yards. Michigan lining up quickly. Clock stops while the chains are set. Henny now in the shotgun. Has the snap. Drops to throw. Firing out right side. Got Edwards. He moves in, eluding 2 tacklers. Now dives forward to the 22-yard line. That'll be another first down. Nifty cut after the catch by Braylon Edwards to get 11 more. Kevin Vickerson, the defensive lineman, went back downfield to stop him.
Same thing. Get the ball to your playmakers. That time, Braylon Edwards made a play.
2:24 to go in the half. Clock running. No rush now. And here's Henny, and there's some movement up front.
Gonna have a false start.
Boy, that'll take you out of your rhythm. Finally, Michigan felt it had something going.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty.
Matt Lentz moved early. That moves the ball back to the 27. First down and 15. 17-7. Michigan State on top of Michigan. We're nearing the half. You got Edwards to the right. Breston slot left, wide side of the field. Avant out wide to the left, closest to us in the press box. Henny in the shotgun now. Awaiting the snap from David Boss. He's got it. 4-man rush. Has some time. Now he's under pressure. Now he's going to be sacked for the third time. Back around the 36-yard line. And it was Clifford Dukes and Clifton Ryan who both got through. Second down coming up back on the 36. They've got 24 yards to go. No rush. They've got plenty of time. No timeouts. Henny dropping to throw. Look out. Pressure coming, and he overthrows hard on a screen to the left. And Chad Henny just not having a good day. Third down, 24 coming up.
I think what's happening is that the Michigan State pressure may be getting to Chad a little bit.
You bet.
You know, he's gotten hit and he's gotten banged around, and he's not accurate.
You start flinching after a while, don't you?
Well, that's what Jim Herman always says, is you got to hit the quarterback, and Michigan State has hit Chad Henny quite frequently today.
Now they got some fresh bodies coming in up front for MSU.
But you got him on.
Mata Pecco is in there.
Right. You got third down here and long, so Michigan's got to get in field goal range at least. So you need some yardage here.
Pecco's from American Samoa. He got that hair that comes out of the back of the helmet. Back to throw Henny. Got some time on third and long. He fires to Braylon Edwards down at the 19. He's got it, but he's in traffic and he can't shake free. Got to the 17. That's still 5 yards short of a first down. And now, if you're Lloyd Carr, do you send out the field goal team or go for it on 4th and 5?
I think you're down 10.
He says field goal.
You're down 10 with the wind. You want to go to the field goal unit.
Get points.
And you got the wind at your back. And this should be, with the wind as good as it is, chip shot for Garrett Rivas.
Garrett's had a good year on field goals. He's hit clutch kicks, game winner last week, game winner against Purdue. He's actually got a better percentage than Rayner, his opponent from MSU. He's 13 out of 18. This will be a 34-yard try from the right hash. Adam Finley holding. Michigan State jumped offside, got back. Man snaps it. The kick on the way. It's up long enough, and it is good. 34-yard field goal by Garrett Rivas with 49 seconds to go in the half, and the lead has been cut to Michigan State 17, Michigan 10.
And Frank, in our booth, we are joined by 60 Minutes and Michigan graduate, more importantly, the Michigan graduate, Mike Wallace.
The great Mike Wallace.
Can you join us, Mike? You're back home. Whoa.
He's used to wearing those lavalier mics on his tie, not the one that messes up that nice hair. Good to see you, sir.
I've been listening to you guys for the last 10 to 15 minutes. Do you think it's beginning to turn around a little?
Well, I'm telling you right now, the biggest play in this game is Drew Stanton getting injured here for Michigan State. He was wonderful prior to the injury. Now, what he can do in the second half, we'll have to wait and see.
Yep.
Kickoff by Troy Nienberg with the wind, high and end over end. DeAndre Cobb will grab it 3 yards deep in the end zone and will not run it out. We're at the half here at Michigan Stadium. Michigan trails by 7 at the break. MSU 17, Michigan 10. Michigan has decided to take the wind in the fourth quarter. That paid off big last week at Purdue. We'll see if it does again in this one. Nienberg to kick it away to the dangerous DeAndre Cobb. Standing back around his own 2. Spartans lead 17-10. Third quarter about to begin. And here we go. And the ball blows off the tee. So all that anticipation goes glimmering, and we try it again. Once again, Nienberg moves forward, puts his foot to it, and squibs one down there. It goes off the shoulder pad of one of the up men at the 32-yard line. That's Jason Teague, the running back, and he's going to be tackled right there at the 32 by Pierre Rembert. Jamar Adams, the freshman, also in on the tackle. And here we go, Michigan State's football. And let's see who's at quarterback. And it's number 7, Damon Dowdell, the senior out of Detroit Henry Ford, who started here against Michigan 2 years ago in that 49-3 loss. He's thrown 39 passes this year, completed 22. And he'll run to the left on first down, pumps to throw, now puts it down and takes off and gets out over the 40 up to the 42 or 3. And runs out of bounds just before Marlon Jackson unloads on him.
Now, Ernest Shazar at that time had outside contain, and he turned around and went back to cover the tight end. He actually had his back to the play when Dowdell turned upfield and got the yardage.
All marked at the 43-yard line, where it's second down and a yard.
Dowdell has run the ball only 4 times all year now. Coming in, he was minus 6 yards rushing. Out of the shotgun, he hands the ball off to DeAndre Cobb in the shotgun, and he's going to be tackled for a loss. It was second down and about a foot, and now it's going to be third and a full yard to go. Gabe Watson, playing another strong game, was in that backfield, and so was number 56, Lamar Woodley, who's played so far, Jim, from my vantage point, the best game of his career today.
He absolutely has been everywhere. And he and Gabe Watson right now are the 2 most strongest players in the defensive front.
Quick snap count, handoff to Cobb, diving off the right side, and I think with that lunge, he got the first down out to the 44.
DeAndre Cobb was the ball carrier.
So DeAndre Cobb getting the first down on the 2-yard run. First down MSU on its 44. Opening drive of the third quarter with Michigan State leading Michigan 17-10.
I think you're seeing a little bit more conservatism on the part of Michigan State, just to get Dowdell his feet wet. I think a smart move by John L. Smith.
He played in the first half only to take a knee twice. Stanton, if you joined us late, was injured. Here's a flag down as the pitch goes to Jason Teague. This play will not count. And I'll tell you what, Lamar Woodley was in that backfield to hit Dowdell.
Offense, number 72.
Stephon Wheeler, that left tackle, got an early start for the second time in the ball game, and so that'll move the ball back to the 39. It'll be 1st and 15. How about Woodley in the backfield again, though?
Yep, and that's his job. He's supposed to take the quarterback, force him to pitch the ball early, because if he pitches the ball early, then the rest of the defense can react to the option. But if you let the quarterback get out on the edge, then you've got 2 runners to worry about. But if you force him to pitch it early, then you've only got the pitch back to get the ball, and he's starting from 4 yards deep.
Agim Shabai and Terry Love will deploy to the right. Shabai's in the slot to that wide side of the field. To the left, you got the big fella, Aaron Alexander, who spent some time with Tom Izzo's basketball team a couple of years ago. He's 6'5". Dowdell in the shotgun on 1st and 15. He's got Jason Teague back there with him. Ball on the left hash. Michigan playing bump and run on the wideouts. Dowdell sets to throw, looking right, lofting it deep, right side, and that ball's underthrown, incomplete. And now you got a flag down. Marlon Jackson was running with Agim Shabai, The ball was underthrown.
Is that offensive? That's the question.
I'm not sure. It sure shouldn't have been Marlon Jackson. But we'll see what the call is.
On a defense.
Oh, man.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Oh, man.
Well, let's take another look on our replay. And Jackson running step for step with Shabai. And Shabai shoves Jackson right in the back. And Jackson is called for. That is not a good call. But it's in the books, and the Spartans get a first down on the Michigan 46. Dowdell directly under center. He's got Jason Teague, the only setback. Turns, gives it to him, and Teague's hit by Woodley right at the line. Fights forward for a yard or two. Look at him keeping those legs driving. Trying to get extra yardage, but they'll stop him at the 44 or so. Leon Hall helped out on the stop. I tell you what, Woodley's just been everywhere today.
Yep. He's been making plays.
Rondell Biggs is in that defensive front for the Wolverines, along with Alan Branch and Alex O'Feely. We got Woodley up there, Lawrence Reed, Scott McClintock, then Leon Hall, Marlon Jackson, Ernest Chaser, Ryan Mundy, and Marcus Curry. 5 defensive backs. Second down, 7 to go. And here comes Teague again off the right side, fighting down to about the 40.
Teague, the ball carrier.
Third down there. Lawrence Reed's trying to get guys off his legs in the pile. Looked like he's in some pain. Gets up slowly, but he's okay. Third down for the Spartans, 5 to go.
Clearly doesn't appear in the early going anyway, Frank. The Michigan State says spread out.
It's a different feel to it.
They're being real careful, I think, with Dowdell.
They didn't run this much inside the whole first half, I don't think. 4 wide for Dowdell in the shotgun. 3rd and 5 on the Michigan 41. Dowdell to throw. Here's a screen left, and it's caught by Trannon, and Reed comes through the screen and drills him for a loss back on the 46-yard line. What a play by Lawrence Reed. He read it beautifully.
They've tried to run that wide receiver or bubble screen, 3 or 4 times in this football game. Michigan defensively has had it covered every time. That time, it was Lawrence Reed reading it, sniffing it out. As soon as Trannon caught it, he was there.
Brandon Fields in to punt. Wind at his back. Steve Breston deep, standing at his own 15. 17-10 MSU. Fake. Fields running right. Now he's going to kick it. Bounces it at the 25. Breston grabs it on the 15. Breaks to his right. Looks for a block. Doesn't get it from Grant Mason. Goes down on the 13. Well, that was that running punt right there. And we all know what Michigan fans think of that strategy. But it's worked for some clubs.
Hey, LSU used it a year ago in the national championship game.
Michigan pinned back on its own 13 on its opening possession of this third quarter. 17-10 our score. Stayed on top. Henny brings them out to the line. We're brought to you by Federated Insurance Companies. It's our business to protect yours. And Varsity Ford in Ann Arbor opens Saturday. Ball on the left hash. You've got Hart and Dudley in the eye. 4-man front for MSU. Chad Henne gives it to Hart on a delay. Breaks outside to the right. Breaks 1 tackle up over the 15 and out to the 16 or 17 where Jason Harmon made the tackle from free safety, a gain of about 4. That was the shifty Mike Hart. Seemed to be trapped in the backfield there and got away.
Again, Mike Hart's vision is what's improved most since he's been a young freshman, and he started in this run that he's on now. His vision to break to the open area has been outstanding.
2nd and 6 on the 17. Ball on the right hash now. Hart's the only setback. Gets the handoff on a draw up the middle. Good block inside from Braylon Edwards, and that frees Hart to get over the 20 to the 22. Ronald Stanley makes the stop. Well, Braylon split out as a receiver, Jim, and they bring him in toward the line, and he's almost like a trap blocker on that play.
Trap blocker and a tight end, because he will come inside and he will pound you. And that's exactly what he did there, and actually got Mike Hart about 2 extra yards.
3rd down and 1 at the 22 for the Wolverines, and the Spartans will jam things up tight. They've got 8 men in the box now. Hart and Dudley, offset eye, power right, 2 tight ends. Here comes Hart, right side, fighting forward. Let's see where they spot him. That's going to decide whether it's a first down or not. The line judge, Dana McKenzie, comes in, and where he's spotting it, it appears to be a first down, but we just don't know yet. We're guessing.
David Heron led the defenders.
Might need a measurement.
Yeah, they'll bring the chains across.
There will be a measurement.
So we'll see. Everybody watching on TV sees that yellow stripe, of course, and that's not official, although it's pretty accurate. Now they bring the chains out. Nose of that ball is touching the 23, and it is a first down for Michigan.
There's a first down for Michigan.
So they move the chains, get a new set of downs on their own 23. Always so important. We mentioned it over and over and over. When you get the ball back on your own 10, like Michigan State did back in the first half, and Michigan here, back around your own 10, so key to get that one first down at least, just to change field position a little bit.
Particularly when you're into the wind, and this is a heavy breeze.
Trailing by a touchdown. Michigan has the ball, first down on the right hash. Henne back to throw. Looking, firing left, up in the air. Avant makes the grab. Knocked out of bounds by Jaron Hayes. Into the Michigan State sideline at the 37. That's a gain of 14. Good throw there by Henne.
And a great catch.
Avant's got great hands.
I'll tell you, he can climb the ladder as well as anybody. And again, he's got a lot of cushion over there from Jaron Hayes. And if you get that kind of cushion and you force the inside guy to cover deep, there's no underneath coverage.
Michigan lining up quickly. The Spartans weren't ready to go, and we've got flags flying, and Michigan might have moved too soon. They had the Spartans out of position defensively.
False start.
Well, that's
Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty
Matt
for
Lentz
previous
moved
stop.
early. Oh, boy.
that's one of those things where, as a coach, you're sitting there, let's catch him off balance, and you get up there to the line of scrimmage and you run the quick snap to catch the defense off balance, and your offense doesn't execute the play. Matt Lentz has got to have poise, maintain his position, even though you're in a hurry-up situation.
1st and 15, back on the 32. Braylon Edwards in motion toward the wide side right. Henne gives it to Hart, bouncing out to the right. He is grabbed and pulled down at the 33 by Ronald Stanley, the middle linebacker.
You see how that cutback that was so open in the first half is not open now. Michigan State has done a nice job of keeping that one outside linebacker from running up in there. And we've got an injured Spartan.
118 yards on 17 carries for Mike Hart. And the injured Spartan is Brandon McKinney, the nose man. He's sitting on the turf right now. Well, the Spartans have had a fine game defensively, haven't they?
Oh, they've had
Michigan
a wonderful
to 190 total yards.
They've played very well.
3 sacks. No turnovers in the ball game.
Well, when this team, this Michigan State team, put a number on Minnesota, you knew that they weren't just whistling Dixie out there, that they could play, because Minnesota offensively is an outstanding running football team, and they really put the hurt on Minnesota. So if you didn't get the idea this team can play defense, that game should have opened your eyes.
Be a touchdown buddy. Sign up to win an 8-square pizza at any of the 9 metro area locations. No purchase necessary. 9:35 to go. McKinney is helped off the field. He's replaced in there by Domata Peko out of American Samoa. He's from Pango Pango. 3 wide for the Wolverines. Henne back to throw on 2nd and 14. Looking, now he takes off. He's up to the 35 and slides down at the 40-yard line. He got about 6. And that'll bring up 3rd down, a little more reasonable. We'll call it 8 to go. Looks like the tail of that ball's touching the 39.
And good coverage there by the Spartan secondary. Henne had nowhere to go with the football.
Jim, look at that hair on Peko.
Yeah.
I was watching a game last night, or the night before, and there was another player from American Samoa, and they said they keep the hair that long because they believe that long hair gives them more strength. So there you have it. 3rd down and 8. Henne under center, drops to throw. Has time. Looks, fires underneath, crossing route. Preston's got it, turns upfield, 1st down, out to the 48. Hauled down by Jaron Hayes, but Preston just used his speed to run away from him, get that separation. Good protection set it up, didn't it?
That's why the play was successful, is that Henne had time to look and let Preston come from split wide right to drag underneath the coverage across the field. And once he got by him, then Henne threw the ball in there. But it doesn't happen unless Henne gets time to let Breston complete the route.
Another third down conversion. That's 2 in a row, 4 out of 10 in the ball game for the Wolverines. First down on their 48. Henny fakes, drops to throw. Deep right sideline. Braylon Edwards underthrown into the wind. Flag down. There's holding back there by Adam Stenovich. He was getting bull rushed by Clifton Ryan. It looked like he grabbed him. And there is a flag. How about what the ball did into that wind, though? That ball was 10, 12 yards short of Braylon Edwards.
Holding on the offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty for previous spot. Still first down.
That is Adam Stenovich, as we mentioned, and so it is now first down and 20 on the Michigan 38. Henny brings the Wolverines to the line. 8:16 to go in the third. Michigan trailing by 7. And now MSU jumps offside. It was Kevin Vickerson.
Good job by Henny. It was a hard count. You got Vickerson to jump. Get 5 of that penalty back right away.
It's 8
Prior to the
penalties.
snap. Offside. Defense. Number 91.
8 penalties for 63 yards against Michigan State. And for Michigan, 6 penalties, 60 yards. They said number 99, but Brandon McKinney's not in there. Clearly that was 91 Vickerson. Ball at the 44 now. First down and 14 to go. They gave him a 6-yard walk-off. 3 wide receivers for the Wolverines. And the Spartans jumped offside again. Flags down. Here comes Hart picking up the middle. He pulls away from 2 men. Now he's dragging a tackler, Maples, from behind. Look at him carry him 8, 10 yards downfield to the MSU 31-yard line. Roderick Maples could not grab hold of Michael Hart and drag him down. And so he just kept picking at him, picking at his uniform, tried to knock the ball out, couldn't do it. Hart kept fighting, and if the play stands, Michigan's got a first down at the MSU 32. It looked like MSU was offside.
On a defense. That penalty refused.
And they were. First down. What a run by Mike Hart, 25 yards.
Not only was it a great run, I think it's a great call by Terry Malone, the offensive coordinator. 2nd and long, you spread them out, and you run the draw back up in there. And then Mike Hart gets the job done.
142 yards and 18 carries. He gets it again on a draw. Is hit in the backfield. He breaks the tackle, spins through a hole, and gets about 5 yards out of the play. Brandon McKinney finally brought him down at the 27. That looked like a 2-yard loss.
Oh,
unbelievable what this youngster does.
Michigan State came with a blitz. It was a perfect defense. They came right up in the hole. And Kevin Dudley took the first blitzer, but there was nobody to take the second. Mike Hart made 2 guys miss in about a 5-yard square. Man, he's tough to tackle in a phone booth.
There's another guy who used to wear a blue uniform, wear number 20 and run like that, Jim. His name is Barry Sanders. Mike Hart doesn't have his breakaway speed. Henny to throw, fires near side. Edwards has it. He is hit from behind at the 20, fumbles the football. It goes toward the sideline. Michigan State recovers, but did they get it in bounds? They did. Eric Smith recovers the fumble. David Boss is down there arguing the case on Michigan's behalf, but it appears MSU will get the ball. Braylon Edwards had the catch and fumbled it when he was hit from behind. It appeared to be Jaron Hayes who knocked it loose.
Clearly.
And then Eric Smith recovered.
Well, it was a good throw, clearly. And the question is, with the ball OB, it looks like, I think, Frank, if you even want to review it, and I think they're going to.
They will, because there's a TV timeout.
I think that the question is, does the ball touch the side? I'm not sure it does, but it's, again, one of those plays where I don't think visually there's enough evidence to overrule it on the ground.
Well, Jim, on the replay, I'm going to tell you, it just might be overturned. We'll wait to see when we come back.
After reviewing the last play, it was a fumble, and the ball was possessed by the defense prior to the ball going out of bounds. Correct call. Play stands.
So that's the last word. Now, forget about which way the calls go on these. Here's what I don't like about the way they're doing the replay system. it's too slow getting to whether there's going to be a replay or not. Coaches are being forced to use timeouts.
Right. It's the process. The idea of replay, I think, is, pretty good. And you want to make a wrong right or make sure the right is right. But it's the process that they may have to revisit.
Here's a bootleg right by Dowdell. He's going to run with it. Massey in pursuit. Dowdell's over the 30 and out near the 35 where he runs out of bounds. Well, that fumble and the replay standing or confirming the play is the biggest play of the half. Brought to you by the biggest dealer in Walled Lake, Schumann Chrysler Jeep.
The one thing that is consistent from the first half to the second half, we've seen Dowdell do it twice. The rollout off of a run fake has gotten Michigan State's quarterback to the perimeter.
And Drew Stanton now has the shoulder pads off, Jim. He's officially out. Here comes Teague around the right side. Turns it upfield at the 40, out to the 44 or 45. That looks like another MSU first down where they spot it.
Prescott Burgess on the stop.
Prescott Burgess getting considerable action today and on the tackle. They say it is a first down, MSU. You've got O'Feely up front with Massey, Harrison, and Woodley. Then you've got McClintock and Prescott Burgess in there. 3 wideouts. Dowdell handing the ball off to DeAndre Cobb, and he's picking his way up the middle over midfield. He got about 7 to the Michigan 49. Spartans continue to run the ball well.
Yep, and again, the quarterback, it remains a running threat. Dowdell does not run the option, or has not yet in this half, as well as Stanton has. But on those rollouts where he gets to the edge, he's got good speed, and he has hurt Michigan.
Those portable lights are illuminating the field now, casting long shadows. And it's another running play, and Cobb fell down in the backfield on his own 49. He loses 2. Dowdell, who handed the ball off, fell down as well. So that didn't work. 3rd down and 5 coming up for Michigan State on its own 49.
And that's the same play that Dowdell fakes on and rolls out on a naked bootleg. Those are the plays you have to give it to the back in order to make the quarterback, when he fakes it, effective.
Michigan State 4 out of 9 in 3rd down situations. Dowdell in the gun, gets the snap, sets the throw. Here comes Woodley. Woodley forces him into traffic and then gets the sack himself at the 45. Woodley combining with Alan Branch on that sack. Woodley did the job first. Branch hit him, and then Woodley circled back and wrapped him up. What a game Lamar Woodley's having. 4th down, and out to punt comes Brandon Fields again. Preston deep at his own 15. Michigan only 5 men at the line. Here's the snap, and Fields hits a low liner toward the far side. It hits around the 20 and skips out of bounds at the 9. Yeah, that's a bullet.
That was a great kick is what that was. You keep it away from Breston, and you bounce it out of bounds inside the 10.
46-yard kick, pinning Michigan deep. They've got to go the long way. 4:45 left in the 3rd. Michigan State 17, Michigan 10. Timeout. You're listening to Michigan football. 4:45 left in the 3rd quarter. 17-10. MSU leads Michigan. Wolverines ball back on their own 9. If you joined us late, Drew Stanton, the star quarterback of Michigan State, injured late in the 2nd quarter. Some sort of shoulder injury. He's now out of uniform, out of the ball game, and Damon Dowdell has replaced him. The Michigan State defense has held up its end of the bargain, though, and not allowed Michigan to tie the game. They just forced a turnover a few moments ago back on their own 21, and now Michigan's back on offense. Jim, it brings to mind the '84 game between these two teams right here in the Big House when Jim Harbaugh broke his arm diving for a fumbled snap against Michigan State. Was knocked out, and the Spartans wound up winning it 19-7. Bobby Morse had that long punt return for a touchdown, the difference in the game. 2 tight ends now. The Spartans 8 men, 9 men in the box. Dudley and Hart in the backfield, and here comes Mike Hart trying left guard and burrows his way to the 11 for 2. Brought down in there by David Herron Jr. By the way, I want to go back to that fumble by Braylon Edwards on the last Michigan possession momentarily. Braylon was stood up on that play by Jaron Hayes, and then the second man hit him and caused the fumble, and that man was Caleb Thornhill, whose dad Charlie played on the Spartans back-to-back championship teams in 65 and 66.
He's a great linebacker.
His brother Josh Thornhill started 4 years for the Spartans too. Now a graduate assistant. Hart again, picking his way up the middle, fighting out to the 15. So we got about 4 on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 4 at the 15. And again, so important to get that first down. Gonzalez, Breston, and Avant check into the lineup.
Particularly with the wind hitting you right in the face.
Out come the big boys, the 2 tight ends, Ecker and Massacoy, and the fullback Dudley. Stay tuned on the post-game show. We'll pick the local Chrysler and Jeep dealers drive of the game. 4 receivers split wide, the ball on the left hash. Gonzalez to the left. Avant, Breston, and Edwards to the right. And here's Henny to throw. He fires left. Complete to Gonzalez. Out of bounds he goes at the 20. Boy, just a quick 5-yard out route to Jermaine Gonzalez, who had a lot of cushion from Roderick Maples. And that's a first down for the Wolverines.
Well, not only that, you go to the man who's single covered. Michigan does a good job with a formation. You got 3 receivers split wide right, including Braylon Edwards. And Gonzalez split left in man coverage. A lot of cushion. Just run the out cut, but get past the first down. Gonzalez got it there.
5th catch of the year for Jermaine Gonzalez. First down, Michigan on the 20. Here comes Dudley, the fullback, in motion right. And Henny's going to throw again. Look out. Rush coming, screen left. He got it to Hart. Oh, and he almost had his head knocked off as he got knocked down by Clifton Ryan out there. Or was it David Herron? Herron, I guess, got him. Gained a couple to the 22.
Spartans have adjusted to that screen. They had 2 defenders right over there that time as Chad Henne backpedaled out of there. 2 Michigan State defenders saw Mike Hart kind of sneak out of the backfield. The Spartans were right there.
You know, these portable lights are great, Jim, for the late starts, but they really don't give you perfect illumination, do they? You're still playing in almost gloomy conditions, it feels like. 2nd down and 8, Michigan on its 22. Henne a quick 3 steps back, firing left side. Oh, what a catch by Avant, and then he landed out of bounds. They're saying he juggled the ball?
Yep.
Oh, wow. So it'll be incomplete. I can't tell you with a naked eye if he caught it or not. The officials are a lot closer and could see it. But I want you to know that ball was thrown at 100 miles an hour. And Avant did juggle it.
But I think he had possession when he was falling down, don't you?
Yeah, it's close. 3rd down and 8. Edwards out wide side to the right. Braylon has had 4 catches, 40 yards. Here comes Breston in motion right. That's the wide side. Blitz coming. Hit from behind. The ball's loose. Bouncing around out near the 15. And it's still loose inside the 10 now as players dive for it. Who's got the football? If that's Michigan State's ball, it's a big, big turnover for the Spartans on their 4th sack. We're waiting for them to unpile all the bodies down there. And at the bottom of that mass of humanity, the Spartans are saying they've got it. But it's up to the fellows in the striped shirts and not the white ones to make the call. Everybody looking on intently. The officials trying to get the players to move out, but they won't. And now the officials are shoving players away from the pile. And who's got the football down there? Well, I'll tell you what, Jake Long is still fighting for it, Jim.
Well, he's
got his belly down, and I think he's the one who's outfought everybody for the ball down at the bottom of that pile. And that might be your biggest play of the game if he got it. Either way.
Well, they haven't signaled who had the ball yet.
Well, just by the reaction, I think it's Michigan's ball.
Right. Lapatina just signaled 4th down.
Wow. Well,
that's huge.
You know, you've been in those pileups before.
If you don't hear the whistle, and even if you do, and you're in the bottom of that pile, you still fight for it.
Well, somehow Michigan got it. They missed the blitz around the corner that came from Terrell Dortch. He caused the fumble. That it looked like Eric Smith had it for a moment. And then in came Jake Long, and I think Jake recovered at the bottom of the pile. So Michigan has to punt. Adam Finley standing in the end zone. Agim Shabai is out near midfield, and now his coaches tell him, move up. They're kicking into the wind. So Shabai comes down to the Michigan 44. Spartans have 8 men to rush. Finley gets the snap, kicks it away. Good kick into the wind. Shabai goes back, grabs it on his own 46, goes to his left, trying to set up blocks. One man misses at the 50, and he gets down to the Michigan 45. Roy Manning almost had him, and Shabai turned it into a nice return. And so the Spartans get the ball on the Michigan side of the field. 1:55 to go in the third. MSU 17, Michigan 10. Awaits the snap in the gun. He rolls right to throw. Here comes pressure from Reed. Dowdell hit now by Massey as he delivered right sideline. It is caught by Aaron Alexander, and he steps out of bounds at the Michigan 22. What a throw by Dowdell under pressure from first Reed and then Massey.
Oh, that's that rollout throw to buy time for the quarterback. Michigan State that time got Dowdell outside, and give him credit. Under heavy pressure, he was able to get the ball out, and Alexander did a nice job of giving Marlon Jackson a move to the inside, then breaking to the sideline.
You bet. Marlon bit, and that left Alexander wide open. First down now on the 23, they call it. 4 wide. Here's the handoff left side, and it goes to Teague, and he muscles his way down inside the 20 to about the 19. He gained 4. Second down and 6. McClintock in on the tackle. Alan Branch, the 345-pound freshman out of New Mexico, comes out.
You know, the one thing Michigan State hasn't done yet today is run some kind of a trick play, halfback option pass or the.
Well, they did though. Remember?
Oh, they did. Yeah.
Interference.
Yeah, they got the interference call.
5 receivers split wide. Michigan goes to that dime defense. And Dowdell's going to run quarterback draw around the left side. He gets down to the 15, and he's knocked out of bounds there by Marcus Curry. He'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down.
Faced up by Marcus Curry.
So it'll be third down coming up. The wind is blowing everything around. In the booth, down on the field, they got water bottles bouncing around.
Oh, they got a little like air rubber football that blew out of the stands onto the field during that play. They've just gotten that and taken it off the field.
Third down, a long yard for MSU at the Michigan 14. 1:04 to go in the third quarter. MSU leads by 7, 17-10. Single setback. It's Jason Teague getting the call left side. Squirts through a hole and gets through that seam down to the 10. First down, Michigan State. And they'll mark it on the 11 so they can still get a first down.
Got to give the Spartan running game credit, Frank.
Oh,
they have
220 rushing against the Michigan defense, which has allowed only 72 yards on the ground per game this year, 3rd in the nation.
And if there's a surprise in this game, that's it. The ability of Michigan State to run consistently against the Michigan defense that's been tough against the run.
Now DeAndre Cobb in the shotgun with Dowdell. First down at the 11. Dowdell rolling right, gives out an inside handoff. Draw to DeAndre Cobb, and look who stayed home. Lamar Woodley, you bet. Dropped him at the 10 or 9. Second down and 8 coming up. Final 30 seconds, third quarter. 17-10 Spartans.
I'll tell you, Woodley is so good at playing the blocker, using his hands and keeping his head up. So when the ball carrier comes his way and he's got the strength to disengage from that blocker and get in on a play. He has been remarkable today.
Now the Spartans are going to let the clock run out on the third quarter. And so the teams will change ends. Michigan will have the wind in the fourth quarter, but they're also going to be fighting from behind because the Spartans have the lead after a scoreless third quarter. It's still Michigan State 17, Michigan 10. You're listening to Michigan football. (17-10), Michigan State. The Spartans doing it since the latter portions of the first half without their star quarterback Drew Stanton, who hurt a shoulder. Damon Dowdell up under center. Jason Teague, the only setback. Tight end Jason Randall moves to the right. Running play to the left side. Teague gets through the hole to the 6, maybe the 5, and he's stacked up. Wrestled down. You got Ernest Shazar there on the stop. Lamar Woodley, he's just seems to be everywhere in this ball game. And third down and 4 coming up for MSU.
They've been running that play to Teague, the running back. Dowdell is a guy that, remember, a couple of times has faked that and bootlegged out to the wide side. Now they go shotgun.
Trennan out to the left. To the right, Kyle Brown along with Jeremy Scott.
Remember, QB draw earlier in the game.
And Randall. Dowdell in the gun. Has the snap, quarterback draw right up the middle. He gets down to the 2, and it looks like they stack him up short of a first down. Whole pile of bodies. Lawrence Reed in the middle of it for the Wolverines. Scott McClintock, Larry Harrison. It's fourth down coming up for MSU, a long yard to go, and let's see if they send out the field goal team. They do. Dave Rayner, who connected from 22 yards in the second quarter, will try one that's an extra point, really. 19-yard field goal from the left hash. Brandon Fields, the punter, holds. Morris sends it back. The ball's placed down. The kick is up. And it is through. It's good. A 19-yard field goal by Dave Rayner. And with 13:30 to go in the ball game, the Spartans have a 2-score lead, 20-10. And the Wolverines will be happy with that, given that MSU was first down and 10 from the 11-yard line.
Okay, Frank, as we get ready to get this one down to the finish, do you know the answer to Brandy's Lucky Turn trivia question? Who was the last Michigan quarterback to throw a scoring pass of 80 yards or more? And who did he do it against? What team?
I can't believe you tried to trick me by making me give you a team as well as the player. Okay?
Frank,
because,
would I try to trick you?
Yes,
Oh.
you would. On this, you would. And I think it was against Michigan State.
You're correct there.
Yep. And the guy is now with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, you dog. You
Drew
got it.
Henson.
Drew Henson. In 1999, 81 yards.
Rayner's kickoff, a line drive shot to Breston on the 5. Brings it back upfield with a burst to the 10, 15, 20. And then he is met at the 25 and shoved it back. And that's where the Wolverines will put it in play. Well, you might have fumbled that ball down there with the way they're scrambling. Let's
Well,
wait
the
to see
referees have-
Chad Simon in on the tackle. And they finally unpile everyone. I guess it's Michigan's ball. And it is. I didn't think there was anything special about it, Jim, until
People
the
started
end of
jumping
the play.
around.
Yeah. On the replay, you'd see the ball looked like it was loose in his hand, but not on the ground. But it's Michigan's ball on the 27 at any rate.
By the way,
And here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, say that. What you
Lucky
wanted to
Turn
say.
Trivia has been presented by Shamrock Ford Lincoln Mercury, where you can always find 15 cars for $5,000.
All right, here we go. Michigan trailing by 2 scores, by 10 now. And on first down, they run the ball. Mark Hart with a nice cutback move after he was hemmed in on the left. He goes right and gets it out to the 34-yard line. A quick gain of 7 yards. He had nothing going to the left, did he?
Say, that's making something out of nothing right there, and give Mike Hart the credit.
Hayes and Herron Jr. made the stop. Mike Hart, 161 yards in 22 carries. No Michigan running back has ever had 3 straight 200-yard games. Only John Vaughn had back-to-back 200-yard games. Hart's tied with him right now, and he might have 3 before this one's over. Here he comes again. Left side, trapped in the backfield. Breaks away from Vickerson. Fights his way out to the 35 for about a yard. Third down coming up. They've got to get the ball out over the 36, and they've got the tail of the ball touching the 35 right now.
Ball at the 35-yard line.
Welcome back to today's game, presented by the mortgage experts at Rock Financial. Although I can't believe you've been away for long. It's been a good one. Michigan State leads 20-10. Third down and 2. Michigan on its own 35. In motion to the left, Braylon Edwards. Masco, the tight end on the right. It's Mike Hart right up the middle. He lunges forward, and I don't know. No, he bounced off a man. He's still got the ball, still running. Churns his legs around the right side and gets over the 36, but not by much. Jim, I cannot begin to tell you what this guy does to play-by-play announcers. When you think he's stopped,
He's not.
You got to keep watching because he might pop out of the pile someplace else.
But he did not get the first
No,
down.
he didn't. Fourth down and
boy.
short. Adam Finley's out with the punt team, and the fans want Michigan to go for it. They've got a long yard to go, though. 11:29 left. Finley and the punt team are out there. The fullback is Roy Manning on the punt team. Ross Mann sends it back to Finley, and he's going to kick it. And he does, and he hits it well. Shabai goes back, grabs it on his 19, gets away from Darnell Hood, races to his left, and is hit from behind and tackled by Ernest Shazor around the 27-yard line. So 11:01 to go. The Spartans have the ball back. They lead 20-10 after that 45-yard punt. MSU football, 10-point lead. They're at their own 27-yard line. The punt decision, crowd didn't like it, but 11:01 to go. You like the call.
A lot of time left. You've got 3 timeouts. You've got to stop Michigan State, force them to kick the ball into the wind. I think that's one of the things that Lloyd Carr is playing on right now. That's why he made the decision at the beginning of the half.
DeAndre Cobb is the setback, and Dowdell on a bootleg to the right. He guns one, and this ball is somehow caught at the 38-yard line by Agim Shabai on a crossing route. And I want you to know he had Leon Hall draped all over his back when he caught it.
There was no room to squeeze that in. Somehow Dowdell did. Somehow Shabai made the catch.
11 yards, first down. Clock running now. Under 11 minutes left. Spartans lead by 10. Michigan's got to stop them defensively to have a chance to win this ball game. Dowdell gives the ball on a trap play up the middle, and it's plugged up. Look out, coming out to the right is Cobb. He did a Mike Hart right there, and he's tripped up coming around the corner by Ernest Shazor at the 45. He gained about 7.
Again, Ernest Shazor's got to remember that he dove inside. If you dive inside like that and that ball carrier bounces outside, you are going to get beat to the wide side. He did that time. It could have been a gain of 1 yard, but Ernest dove inside and Cobb was able to bounce outside.
Cobb's having a nice game. 11 carries, 95 yards. Teague has 44. Colcrick -1. Stanton had 80, and Dowdell has 26 rushing. Again, it's Cobb. He's trying to find room on the right side. Finally picks his way for a yard or so to about the 46. Manning was out there with Harrison to stop him.
Well, that's the way you play it. Manning got outside that time, Frank, and he stayed out there. He didn't dive inside when the running back decided to move inside. He stayed out and contained. Then when the bounce out came, he was there to make a play.
9.5 to go here in Ann Arbor. And it's 3rd down and 2 for MSU on its own 46. And now they will split out 5 receivers. Dowdell will work out of the gun. Michigan's playing man-to-man on all of them. Dowdell gets the snap. He's rolling to the left, looking downfield. He fires, and
holding, yes.
That ball is caught at the 48 of Michigan by Terry Love. But as Jim mentioned, there's a flag down in the backfield, and Michigan State was caught holding, and by the complaint of William Whitaker, I'm assuming we're about to hear number 76 called.
Lawrence Reed was coming up.
On the offense, number 74, 10-yard penalty.
Called it on Kyle Cook, number 74.
The key there is that when you see it out there in the open field, and this is where they roll out Dowdell to the left. It's a great play. But Reed breaks through and is coming up to make a play. No, it's McClintock. And McClintock just gets turned right around by the tackle. And that's a holding call. And luckily, the referees from Michigan's perspective make the call.
3rd and 12 now for MSU on its own 36. 9:03 to go in Ann Arbor. MSU leads by 10. Dowdell in the gun. Splits 3 receivers wide. And he's going to roll to his right, give on a draw play to Cobb. Look out, racing to his left, open field, to the 50, he's off to the races. Shazor chasing, will never get him. Cobb down the sideline, to the 10, to the 5. DeAndre Cobb, touchdown, 64 yards on the draw.
That's a beautiful play because what it is, it looks just like the rollouts that they have run the last 2 times, where you're in the shotgun, Dowdell rolls one way, but this time the running back doesn't go with him to lead block. He stays still, and it's actually a counter draw where the entire team moves one way on the rollout, and then the quarterback just hands to the running back, and he busts it the other way. If you over-pursue, a guy like Cobb is going to have the speed to burn you, and he did.
Cobb had a 72-yard touchdown run to open the scoring in the first quarter, and now a 64-yard TD run. Rayner's extra point on the way is good. 73 yards in 4 plays. Michigan State has opened up a 27-10 lead with 8:43 to go here in Ann Arbor, and it's going to take a miracle for the Wolverines to come back now. We'll see if they've got some magic in them when we come back. From Host Communications, you're listening to the Michigan Sports Network. Rayner to kick it off. Breston back deep with Mason. The ball bouncing down to Breston. Takes a high hop over his head. He grabs it back at the goal line. Heads the other way. He's got white shirts all over in front of him. He'll be tackled at the 7-yard line.
Everything's going wrong for Michigan. Everything's going right for Michigan State.
Chad Simon down there again to stop Steve Breston.
You know, you get the ball that hops, and it just took a bad hop right over Breston's head. So no return. Michigan forced to go the long way. Now you may see Chad Henne try to air it out.
Today's game brought to you in part by the mortgage experts at Rock Financial. Call 1-800-333-ROCK. Also, the Wolverines powered by TDS Metrocom, and they need to be powered right now. They need a boost. Henne will split out Avant to the right. Edwards wide left, Breston slot left. Now it's a 3-score game. And Henne will give the ball to Hart. Got running room left, gets out to the 10 to the 11. Out he goes there. He gained about 4. Jason Harmon came up to stop him. The crowd a little uncomfortable with the running play call, but keep in mind they're back on the 7-yard line. First things first, get it out of there, get a first down if you can. Henne in the gun, has the snap, sets the throw, near side, gets it to Braylon. He's got it at the 19, knocked back by Roderick Maples, but he holds on to the ball, and we'll see where they spot it. It's going to be the 18, and that should be a first down. Gain of 7 on the play. Well, the only bright spot for Michigan right now is they get the win, but they trail by 17 points with 8:12 to go. Henne under center. They're in the 2-minute offense now. He turns left, gives the ball to Hart, trying to turn the corner. Gets a block out there from his tackle Stenovich, up the sideline to the 30, 31-yard line, and he's out of bounds. Braylon Edwards and Stenovich sealing the side, and Hart turns it into a 13-yard run, and we have an injured Michigan State player. It's Roderick Maples, the corner, who leads MSU with 11 passes defended this year. Later on the post-game show, we'll bring you the Walt Michaels Player of the Game, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. And for Michigan State, no doubt it's DeAndre Cobb.
Oh, yeah.
For Michigan,
and I think
Lamar Woodley.
Well, I think, too, give Michigan State's defense, the whole team, some consideration, because they have really done a good job against a Michigan that offensively, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, has been coming on pretty well. And they've really shut them down. I mean, it's hard to say that when you've got 176 yards rushing, but the passing game has not been there. As
Maples is assisted from the field, Michigan set at the line of scrimmage. And look what they do, Jim. They got Braylon Edwards split out wide to the left against the new corner, Ashton Walton.
They're going to help.
Ashton Watson, excuse me.
They're going to help Watson, I can tell you.
Back to throw goes Henne. Looking right. He fires toward the sideline to Avant. He makes the catch, tumbling out of bounds around the 42.
Boy, does that kid have an arm.
Oh, boy, to throw it that far from the left hash to the right sideline in front of Jaron Hayes. Clock stop, 7:51 to go. First down on the 11-yard throw.
If you give him protection, he can play. Now look at Maples is back in the ballgame. One play, he's out, back in there now.
Ashton Watson back out of the lineup. 27-10, Michigan State leads. 7:51 left in Ann Arbor. And the Wolverines can huddle up with the clock stopped on the out-of-bounds play previously. Now they come to the line. Breston to the right, Avant and Edwards left, and here's Henne to throw. He's going deep, airing it out left sideline. It's Braylon cutting inside of Maples to make the catch at the 11, and down he goes there. He adjusted to the ball, ran with Maples, and then at the last moment moved inside of him to make the grab at the 11-yard line. And that will be a gain of 47 yards.
And Maples had him covered. Braylon just made a play on the ball and outfought him for it.
6 catches, 93 yards for Braylon Edwards, and he becomes a 1,000-yard receiver for the 3rd straight year. Now Michael Hart around the left side on the sweep gets down to the 8-yard line. Braylon Edwards doesn't want to hear about setting records in a loss, I guarantee you that, but what a great achievement. 3 straight years, 1,000 yards rushing. He's the first player in Big Ten history to ever do that. Henne to throw out of the gun. Blitz coming. He fires right corner near the goal line to Avant, and he can't pull it in. 2nd down and 5 coming up at the 7. Check that 3rd down. I think I said 2nd.
Now here's the question. If you don't get in the end zone here, get the 1st down, Frank. You're down 17. Do you get the field goal now?
Well, you got to score a field goal at some point anyway.
Right,
so,
you might as well take it.
Absolutely. 3rd and 5 on the 7. Michigan State has the nickel defense in there, and the Wolverines break the huddle with 7:10 to go. They've got all 3 timeouts. Breaston and Avant to the right. Edwards to the left. Tight end Eckers on the right. Hart is the only setback. Henne looking at a 4-man front. Drops to throw. He looks. He's going to run up the middle now and get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. And they'll settle for the field goal try. There was really nobody open. So out comes Garrett Rivas with 6:55 to go and the clock running to try a field goal to make it a 14-point game if he can convert. The holder is Adam Finley, with Matt Gutierrez having had surgery this week on that shoulder. Ross Mann will send it back. It'll be a 25-yard attempt almost directly in front of the uprights. Finley puts it down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Michigan's back on the board. 6:27 left. The field goal of 25 yards by Rivas makes it Michigan State 27. Michigan 13 with 6:27 to play. Timeout. You're listening to Michigan football. And the question, Jim, do you onside kick it here or boot it deep and just count on your defense because you're 2 scores behind and you don't want to give up field position?
You're 2 scores behind, and that may make the difference. So I think you may onside kick the ball here.
Well, the Spartans have their hands team out there.
And Michigan has Rivas out there. So and Nienberg. So you know, this could be
Trick
one of those
play
little
here,
trick moves where maybe you pooch it over the top and you send your quick guys downfield rather than kick the
Well, you got 2 kickers. You can kick it either direction.
That's it.
Jaron Hayes is back deep at the 10. The Spartans have 10 other men between the Michigan 45 and their own 45. Rivas will kangaroo kick it. And this ball's loose and Michigan recovers. Brian Thompson fell on the football. One of the Spartan players dove for it, and it got away from him, and Brian Thompson recovered for the Wolverines. And they get it back inside their own 40.
Well, they chose to kangaroo kick it instead of pooch kicking over the top, and a Michigan State Spartan player tried to field it on the short hop. It bounced out, and Thompson made the play.
I believe it was Jeremy Scott, number 32, who dove for it, Jim. I believe that's who it was, and then it came loose. And Michigan gets it. 6:26 to go. They trail by 2 touchdowns. Henne under center, drops the throw. Look out, big blitz, screen left to Mike Hart. Got it up the sideline, 40, 45.
Yes.
Face mask. Boy, he almost got his helmet ripped off.
Sure did.
From behind. Hart is up near midfield.
Is he okay?
It was Harmon, Jason Harmon, who grabbed him by the face mask, and Hart is still down.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, you just react as a player. You know, he wasn't trying to hurt him in any way, but that is so dangerous when you grab a face mask or a helmet like that and the guy's running full speed. Harmon just...
Major face mask on a defense, number 41. 15-yard penalty.
They called that on
the end of the run.
David Herron Jr. I thought it was Harmon who did it, but they called 41, and that's who it was. It was Herron, not Harmon.
And Mike Hart, they're looking at him on the sideline. I think Mike has gotten up on the screen pass. He got good yardage on the play, but I think he's all right.
It was David Herron Jr., the weak side linebacker, who got him. The penalties moving the ball down to the 36 now of MSU. Big penalty there, 15 yards, 6:19 to go. The Wolverines have Pierre Rembert in the backfield with Chad Henne. 3 wideouts. You know them, Avant, Preston. And Edwards not in there right now. And here's Henne to throw. He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line, and he's got it for a touchdown. He took it away from Jaron Hayes. 6:12 to go, Jim, and they're only down by 8, 27-19, pending the extra point. That didn't take long.
And let me tell you, Chad Henne, to get the ball that deep while being hit is incredible. And for the second time, Braylon Edwards goes up and steals the ball from a Michigan State defender. And with 6:12 left, Michigan's back in the ball game. And Frank, they don't have to kick an onside kick the next time.
Exactly right. Garrett Rivas to try the extra point. Out of the hole to Finley. Don't you love college football? Man sends it back. The kick on its way. It's good. 62 yards, 2 plays, plus the penalty.
Well, it's a remarkable game, and I guess you never, the old Yogi Berra, it's never over till it's over. And that time you give Braylon Edwards a lot of credit for going up and making a play on the ball, and I'd say give Chad Henne credit for throwing that thing up there to a covered man and letting his receiver make a play, because that's basically all it was.
36-yard touchdown pass from Henne to Edwards. It's 27-20 Michigan State with 6:12 to go. Nienberg's kick sails over the head of Jaron Hayes into the end zone. Out of the field of play, it'll come out to the 20 on the touchback. 10 points in 2 minutes, 31 seconds. And it's a 7-point game. Dowdell, the quarterback, has Jason Teague behind him, hands it to him, and he's drilled in the backfield. He fights back to the line of scrimmage with Watson and Shazer right there. They might mark his progress over the 20 for a statistical yard. It'll be second down, and let's call it 9 to go. Well, this place is alive now, isn't it? The
sure
big
is.
house. 111,609 on hand.
2 scores in a little under 2.5 minutes will do it.
Kyle Brown and Scott to the left. Matt Trannon out to the right. Dowdell under center. Jason Teague behind him. The tight end, Randall on the left. Play action fake. Dowdell in trouble. Chased back inside the 10. Firing now, and he completes it at the 25-yard line to his big tight end, Randall, sliding out of bounds. Oh, man, what a throw. And what a job by Dowdell to elude the rush.
And
3rd and 5 coming up. The clock stops on the out-of-bounds play.
you talk about a great throw. He's rolling to his left, and he's got big trouble in his face, and he's still able to get the ball out there.
Manning almost got him. Michigan State 6 out of 13 on 3rd down. Dowdell is 4 out of 4 for 32 and has 5 carries for 26. He splits 3 receivers wide. Left hash, he's got Teague behind him. He turns, fakes to Teague, bootleg left, firing on the run, and that ball's caught over the 30-yard line. Good grab by the tight end, Randall again. And down he goes with a first down. 5:20 to go.
The tight end has been a key guy for Michigan State in this ball game, and there it is, a first down. Michigan State has done a good job throwing the football, and it's all come off the run action. Everything is coming off the run fake, and then Dowdell rolling and finding a tight end who has faked the block and then gotten into the secondary.
First down, MSU on its own 34.
There's a false start.
Flags fly, 5 yards on MSU. They'll move back 1st and 15 to the 29. By the way, that touchdown by Braylon Edwards makes Clyde Hunt a Buddy's touchdown buddy. He signed up with the Detroit Buddies.
I think the crowd has gotten into the ballgame enough. That time, the tight end Randall really couldn't hear the snap count, and he started prior to the snap, which gives Michigan State a 1st and 15. And at a time like this, that's pretty tough to convert. I mean, you know, with everything going on, First downs are what Michigan State needs right now to salt this game away.
Michigan's got 5 defensive backs, Spartans 3 wide receivers. Teague is the setback for Dowdell. 1st and 15, here's Teague up the middle, and he's wrapped up by Reed coming through the hole. He got about 3 to the 32. And DeAndre Cobb has been the man with the 2 long touchdown runs, Jim, and the big game, 160 yards and 13 carries, but DeAndre's your breakaway threat, isn't he? He's not the guy that you count on to slug it out.
Right, he's your speed back. And I think I'm a little surprised that Colquitt isn't in the ball game, but Colquitt may be a guy that fumbles, and they want the security of Teague in there.
4:10 to go. Spartan football, 2nd and 12, their own 32, leading by 7. There's the handoff to Teague going right. Flags fly. Teague breaks through over the 35 out to the 37, where he's knocked down by Shazer. And we got holding on Michigan State. It looked like Massey was pulled down by William Whitaker.
Now here's the call. You got him 3rd and 7. Do you take the penalty and push him back and keep it a 2nd down? This is where coaches, have to think twice about it.
2nd down and 22 or 3rd down and about.
Holding on the offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty in the spot of the foul. Still 2nd down.
Now they called that on Cook again. That's 12 penalties for 103 yards. Well, Cook's been called for a couple. Both times we thought it was on Whitaker, Jim. So
yeah.
William would rather that we hold our opinions to ourselves, wouldn't he?
Right. And I think one of the things and reason why Lloyd Carr and Michigan chose to take this penalty instead of putting him in the 3rd down, they're into the wind. If they throw and it's incomplete, that will stop the clock. There's some issues here with long yardage that I think Lloyd feels is more advantageous to them at this point.
Clock running, under 4 minutes to go. 2nd down and 22. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left. 4 wide receivers, now 5 for MSU. Dowdell in the shotgun. Nobody back there with him. Michigan with 6 defensive backs. And Dowdell is going to run quarterback draw and cuts up the middle out to the 26-yard line. And Pierre Woods wants to know where the holding call was right there because he couldn't get away. Michigan calls timeout with 3:33 left. 3rd down and 17 coming up.
Pierre Woods was working outside, and he's the guy that has contained. And that was a quarterback draw, but a misdirection where he was going to the left and then he comes back to the right. That's where Pierre Woods was, Frank, and he was being blocked, but he was trying to disengage from the blocker to make a play on Dowdell. That's where the hold was, but the referees didn't call it. Still, Michigan calls timeout, forces Michigan State into a 3rd and long.
Stay tuned on the post-game show for the defensive play of the game brought to you by Gutter Helmet. 3:33 left. Michigan State 27, Michigan 20. Spartans need to move the ball up to their own 44 for a 1st down. They've got it on the 27, so they need 17 right here on 3rd down. Well, it looked like it was all over when DeAndre Cobb ran 64 yards for a touchdown with 8:43 to go. But then the Wolverines, after being pinned back on their own 7 on the kickoff, went 86 yards in 8 plays, got a field goal by Garrett Rivas. They recovered a kickoff that was bobbled by the Spartans, and in 2 plays they got a touchdown. 10 points in 2:31, and now a big defensive play. Trailing by 7.
Watch that draw again.
Dowdell to throw, blitz coming, screen out to the right. It's complete to DeAndre Cobb, and he's going to be drilled back on the 25 by Reed and by Shazer and by Harrison and McClintock. Michigan calls timeout with 3:24 to go.
What an effort by Massey. Also, he was inside, read the screen, and he fought off of his block and ran all the way to the sideline and actually got in front of Cobb to force him back inside, which is where the rest of the Michigan defense was to help.
All right, now Brandon Fields will punt. Steve Breston is deep, standing on his own 37. Fields has to kick it into the wind. Michigan with 1 timeout left. Fields has only averaged 32 yards a kick today. He leads the nation coming in with a 49-yard average, but remember, he's been kicking a lot into this wind. Now there's a discussion on the sideline. Lloyd Carr wants his team to come over because he had called timeout. And so he'll be allowed to do that. Listen later on. We'll bring you the Image Business Solutions Picture Perfect play of the game.
Catcher, please, Ryan Hancock.
Who knows how much football we've got left. 27-20, Michigan State. 3:24 to go. Is it in the cards that we see overtime in this great rivalry this year?
Well, about, 15 minutes ago, there was no chance we were going to see that.
Looked like it was over, didn't it? At
well,
27-10.
Cobb on that draw play made such a great play, and it fooled Michigan completely. It basically looked over, but this Michigan team did not give up, and they have fought their way back to give themselves a chance.
Brandon Fields kicking into the wind. He'll try to line drive it again, I'm sure. Michigan will rush 8. Fields running to his right, kicks it away. Breaston comes up, grabs it on the 38, runs straight up the middle. Now stops, break to his left at the 50. He's dragged from behind. He'll go down at the Michigan State 47-yard line. It was the snapper, Brian Burry, who grabbed him by the shirt tails and pulled him down. But 3:13 left.
Oh, they're saying he went down to a knee back at the 38.
Oh, boy. Well, the Wolverines will hope for a replay on that. Instead of the Michigan State 47, they're going to say he was at his own 38, down to a knee when he caught it.
Nope.
I didn't see that.
I didn't either. And now they've gotten together, talked it over.
Well, listen, it's tough to see here. Let's face it. These portable lights are nice, but they don't give you total illumination.
All right, well, how about the decision to have the fourth quarter wind?
Yeah.
I mean, it's paying dividends right now.
Edwards out to the right with Avant. Breaston to the left. And Mike Hart is in the ballgame. Haney up under center, David Boz. Gives to Hart on a delay. Comes up the middle, breaks left. Gets a block from Preston down the sideline to the 35, 30, 25, and out of bounds at the 21 of Michigan State. And Steve Preston, another one of the little ones out there, threw a huge block. And Mike Hart, with that run of 26 yards, goes over 200 yards for the third consecutive game. He's the first running back in Michigan football history in 125 years of football to ever do that, and he's done it as a freshman, the one they call the midget.
More importantly, he does it in a critical situation, in a huge football game, in a comeback.
Still 3:05 to go. Now at the 21-yard line, trailing by 7. Henny under center, dropping to throw. Has some time, lofting it, right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan! Do you believe this comeback? 2:59 to go. Braylon Edwards went up over 5'9" Jaron Hayes and grabbed it away from him, and now Garrett Rebus can tie the game with an extra point.
This is unbelievable. This is one of those comebacks. You said miracle, Frank. Maybe there was one miracle play in there in the onside kick that Michigan got, but the rest of it had been guys making plays. This was a great catch again by Braylon Edwards. Wow.
Extra point so crucial to tie it now. Finley puts man snap down. The kick is up by Rebus. It's good, and the game is tied. With 6:27 to go, Michigan trailed by 17. It has taken them 3 minutes and 28 seconds to score 17 points and tie it up 27-27. 2:59 to play. Timeout on the field. You're listening to Michigan football. Troy Nienberg's kickoff drives DeAndre Cobb back into the end zone. No return. We had tempers flaring out around the 20-yard line. Players from both sides pushing. Flags flew everywhere. And I'm going to guess it's offsetting penalties, but we don't know. Well, what a comeback here by the Wolverines. 3 minutes, 28 seconds to score 17 straight points and tie the game at 27.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, the 37, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. Those penalties don't offset. Ball being put on the 20-yard line.
So here we go. 2:59 left.
Oh,
game
my.
tied 27 all. Michigan has the win. Michigan State has the ball. Spartans 3 timeouts, Wolverines 1 timeout.
John L. Smith is livid with that call. He felt that they should have gotten the flag on Michigan, and they called it offsetting, and John L. Smith thought he should have 15 more yards.
4 wideouts for Damon Dowdell, who will line up in the shotgun with DeAndre Cobb, the speedster, in the backfield. 2:59 to go. 27 all here at the Big House. Crowd of 111,609 going crazy. Cobb gets the handoff on a draw, and they're all over him. McClintock's in the backfield to drill him back on the 16, a 4-yard loss. Clock running, 2:45 to go. The Spartans make changes, and they take Shabai out of the ball game for one. Love and Alexander are out.
Remember, the tight ends have been huge when Michigan State has needed big plays.
Scott, Brown, and Trannon are the wideouts. Not the tight end is on the right. Out of the gun, Dowdell rolling right. He gives the ball to Cobb again. Look out, breaking out left, out of the middle. 30, 35, up over the 40 to the 41-yard line. That's the play that he scored on earlier this quarter on a 64-yard run. Here, he races 25 yards out to the 41 with 2:17 to go.
It's the same play where Michigan State's line, everybody moves to the right. They're showing the rollout, and they just hit him with that little draw play, cutback, or counter play, and it has worked beautifully for the Spartans.
15 carries, 195 yards for Cobb. He's 5'10", 197. Option
There's
play.
A false start.
Dowdell pitches, and there's a flag thrown, and the play won't count.
No, there's a false start up front. I was waiting for the flag and didn't see it.
Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty for the previous spot. Still first down.
So it'll be first down and 15 back on the 36. A lot of penalties in this game, huh? That's 13 on MSU for 108 yards, 6 on Michigan for 60.
A lot of noise down there, Frank.
1:54 to go, clock running. Spartans have 3 timeouts, Michigan has 1. Draw play, here's Cobb breaking out left, hemmed in by McClintock and company. McClintock stands him up, and Massey finishes him off with Gabe Watson there as well. Very little gain. Second down, and we'll call it 13 to go. 1:30 to play, and the clock is running here in Ann Arbor. Well, we've only had 1 overtime game in the Big House. Michigan and Penn State. Out to the left goes Trennan. To the right come Alexander and Scott. Scott in the slot.
There it is again.
There's that little draw play, and this time they got DeAndre Cobb wrapped up. Larry Harrison got him at the 40. Well, if it keeps working, keep trying it, right?
Sure.
105 left. Now, will Michigan use its last time
I think
out?
they did.
Yeah, they just called it. 3rd and 11 coming up for MSU on its own 40. 105 to go. Now, do you get the feeling the Spartans are playing a little bit for overtime here?
Oh,
no?
I think they are. I mean, the play, the draw play, they have not thrown the ball. The draw play has been the key play in the game. It's a counter draw that Cobb has made a living on today, but they haven't gone through the air. And that's where they've had some success today. On the rollout with the quarterback, give him the run-pass option. And I think in this play, that's probably what you will see, because they've shown the draw twice. Michigan will stay home to make sure that doesn't break back out. So you put Cobb, or rather you put Dowdell out there on the rollout with the entire defense moving that way, and you let him decide, run or pass. If he's got an open guy, he throws it. If he doesn't, he runs it and tries to get the 11 for the first down.
Today's game being brought to you in part by the mortgage experts at Rock Financial. Call 1-800-333-ROCK. 105 to go in Ann Arbor. Michigan is out of timeouts. Spartans have all 3 remaining. 27-27 is our score. And the Spartans have it 3rd and 11 on their own 40. They're going to spread 5 receivers out wide.
And this is where you got to be careful of the quarterback draw also.
Dowdell in the shotgun is bringing Cobb in motion. Lawrence Reed's running with him. And here's Dowdell rolling right and throwing incomplete. He got a little bit antsy about the pressure coming from Reed and Massey, and he threw it away with 1:01 remaining.
And that
4th down.
does Michigan a favor. because it stops the clock. 1:01 left to play, Frank, and kicking into the wind.
4 seconds went off the clock. My goodness. Michigan's going to get it back with a chance to apparently win it in regulation. Breaston is deep for the punt by Brandon Fields. Wolverines are going to only send 4 on the rush. Here's the snap. And Fields kicks a low one and drills this one over Breaston's head. Hits at the 5 and goes into the end zone for a touchback. Oh boy, that was close to the coffin corner. 54 seconds to go. Michigan will have the ball on its own 20-yard line. And they've got the wind at their back. Remember, that decision again by Lloyd Carr could turn out to be crucial as it was last week at Purdue. If they can get it down to the 30-yard line, they're in field goal range.
No timeouts left, but the wind at their back. 54 seconds left.
The guy they've been picking on is Jaron Hayes. That last touchdown by Braylon Edwards made a Buddy's touchdown buddy out of Christian Meyer, who signed up with the Livonia Buddies.
Well, I'm not so sure you don't either go screen here either.
They're taking Jaron Hayes out of the game.
Well, Michigan's in 2 tights.
State's only got 10 men out there. And now as the ball is snapped and Henne drops to throw, we have a whistle that blows. And I think John L. Smith called timeout.
He did.
And that's smart because he only had 10 men on the field defensively.
Well, and Michigan offensively came out with a 2-tight situation, okay? And running back in there. So they looked like they were going to run the football on a draw. They weren't going to go deep. Braylon Edwards was the only receiver, and he came in motion. But before the timeout was called, it was a handoff to Hart.
Well, Jim, but 54 seconds left. You don't want to be caught with only 10 defenders out there in a tie game. I just want everybody, well, just buckle your chin straps, my friends. Here we go. Again, the only wideout is Braylon Edwards to the right. It looks like a running formation. Spartans have 6 men up front, and here comes Mike Hart, and he'll get about 3 up the middle.
I think Michigan's playing for OT.
Wow.
Yeah, Michigan's playing for OT right now.
Surprised?
I am a little, just because the momentum was going in their way. But again, freshman quarterback, you're in your own house. You've just made an unbelievable comeback.
2nd and 8 on the 22.
I think you put the game in overtime. That's what Lloyd Carr's doing.
28 seconds left, clock running. The Spartans not using timeouts. Here comes Hart to the left, and he stumbles forward to the 24. Body's falling in front of him, not much room over there. David Herron Jr. on the stop. Now State calls timeout with 3rd down coming up, 17 seconds to go. 3rd and 6. Well, they blocked the punt earlier, Jim.
Right.
And
I think now you're seeing the wheels turn on the Michigan State sideline. Okay, we got them 3rd down. If they run it again, we've got 2 timeouts, rather 1 timeout left. They can stop the clock and force Michigan to punt.
I tell you what, Braylon Edwards sure came back from that fumble early in the second half, didn't he? 3rd quarter, remember, he fumbled down at the MSU 20-yard line. And
well, he made 2 spectacular touchdown catches. Don't forget the catch he made on the Revis drive, or the drive that Revis kicked the field goal in to get Michigan to 2 touchdowns.
Yep, he's had grabs of 46, 36, and 21 during the comeback. 8 catches, 150 yards. Well, we're 17 seconds away from overtime here in the Big House. Michigan and Michigan State tied up at 27. Spartans have 1 timeout remaining if it is necessary. Now, Braylon Edwards will split out to the right. Hart and Dudley in the backfield with Henne. And Edwards has got Roderick Maples out there with him. 3rd down and 6 at the 24. 2 tight ends. Henne turns, gives the ball to Hart going right. Turning it upfield now, and he'll be hauled down at the 27 with 9 seconds to go. Spartans strung out that play very well. They use their final timeout, and now they will rush Adam Finley and his punt with 9 seconds to go.
Well, this is one of those situations in special teams practice which is called a safe punt. And this is where basically you get everybody in there lined up foot to foot. You get no penetration at all. Finley kind of shortens up where he is from the standpoint of distance from the center. You catch it and you kick it. You're not looking for distance. You don't really care. You just catch it and kick it.
Well, it's all about the punt now. Remember, the Spartans blocked one earlier in the game. They've got a good punt rush. They scored a touchdown earlier this year on a blocked punt.
Back to punt for Michigan.
And if
that was against Notre Dame. Jeremy Scott had one.
And if you're Finley and you're in this, I think, safe punt situation, what you do is you kick the ball out of bounds. You don't get it anywhere near Shabai. You just get the ball off, get it over the 50-yard line, don't get it anywhere near Shabai.
Finley is standing only 11 yards deep for the snap from Ross Mann. Shabai back on his 30. Here's the snap. Finley one step and he kicks it away. Wobbles one, right sideline, and it goes out of bounds around midfield with 3 seconds left. So the Spartans will have one play. And now, does John L. Smith just say, let's play overtime, or does he throw one deep?
It's into the wind if he does. And the other thing is, remember last year, Michigan State had a...
And watch for him to bring out number 9, Stephen Reeves, if he's going to throw it deep. That's his other quarterback who's got a real strong arm.
Right, and last year, at the end of the game, Michigan State had a chance to tie and threw the Hail Mary down into the end zone, and actually one of their players had a hand on it.
Yeah, McClintock picked it off.
Right.
Well, the Spartans are sending out the offense, and it's Damon Dowdell, the quarterback, in there. Michigan's got 4 men lined up back inside the 10-yard line. They got Engelman back there. They got Shazer. They got McClintock, of course, and Ryan Mundy. And here's Dowdell rolling to his right, wants to throw it deep, steps up and fires, and it is incomplete at the 25. A flag is thrown. Oh my goodness. They had Aaron Alexander running with Leon Hall. Hall had his back to the play. The ball hit Hall in the back. I can't believe they would call that interference, Jim. Nobody was making a play on the ball, and it was underthrown by 10 yards, or by 5 yards, actually.
Pass interference on an defense. Number 29.
Oh, my goodness.
Automatic. First down.
Well, I don't know what to say, except this is the crew. And we said it at Indiana when they botched call after call after call that it bordered on incompetence, what was going on in that game. There's no time on the clock. The penalty moves the ball to the 35-yard line, and the Spartans are going to get one more crack at it.
Oh, they're going to try a 52-yard field goal into the wind.
Yep.
Is Courtney down there? Courtney, what's the wind like?
Wind is like it has been throughout this contest there, Brendo. Out of the southwest, gusting as high from what I'm told. We have hit 50 miles an hour, and it's very, very active right now.
It'll be a 52-yard try by Dave Rayner with no time left. Out of the hole to Brandon Fields. 11 men up to try to block it. The snap placed down. The kick high and up, but way short. It'll fall about 5 yards short in the end zone, so the Spartans get a crack at a win, but the wind takes a crack at them, and we'll go to overtime here at Michigan Stadium.
I think everybody out here today would say, got my money's worth and more. This has been a great college football game, and again, 2 traditional rivals. What a great stage for the state of Michigan.
Here we go, Michigan's ball. They'll start on the left hash at the 25. Dudley and Hart in the eye. Hannay up under center. David Boss turns and gives to Hart. Has a hole in the middle. Cuts to his right down to the 21. He got 4 yards on the first play of overtime. Well, in overtime now, each team is guaranteed one possession here. Hart comes out limping after that tackle. And Max Martin, the other freshman who has not played it down in the game, replaces Michael Hart, who limps out. After that 4-yard gain, he's got 222 yards and 32 carries. Edwards to the right. Avance slot right. Jermaine Gonzalez out to the left. Henny on 2nd down and 6 in overtime. Fakes to Martin. Fires underneath. Edwards on a screen. Cutting inside of the 16-yard line. And Braylon, if he was a little more patient there, Jim, and let his blockers set up, might have gotten more, but he's trying to make a play. So it's 3rd down, about a yard to go. Here comes Dudley. Martin comes out of the lineup. Ecker goes in. Well, they need a tailback in there, don't they? There's Hart back out there, and I didn't see him. Yep, he is. Hart's in there with Dudley on the backfield. 3rd down, called it 2 to go at the 17. In overtime, tied at 27. 7 up front for the Spartans. And here's a pitch to Hart coming around the left. He is upended at the 16-yard line. What a great play by Roderick Maples. Hart got a block on one man from Braylon Edwards, and then the Wolverines counted on Hart to make the other man miss, but Maples didn't. And it's 4th down, and Garrett Rivas will come out to try a field goal. What a play by Maples.
Great play by Maples, and that's the play. The running back has got to make the unblocked guy miss, and this time Maples beat Mike Hart.
Rivas will try a 34-yard field goal from the left hash. Rossman to send it back to Adam Finley. He's got it down. The kick's on the way. High enough, long enough, and it is perfect. And Michigan has the lead for the first time in the game. 30-27 in overtime, but now the Spartans get a chance with the ball. Well, it's up to that defense again, Jim.
It is up to the defense. They've been called on a lot throughout this football game. And if I'm Michigan and I'm Jim Herman, the one thing I watch for is that counter draw out of the shotgun where Dowdell rolls one way and gives it to Cobb coming back the other.
4 wideouts for Damon Dowdell, and he's got DeAndre Cobb in the backfield. Michigan going with 5 defensive backs, bump and run on all 4 wideouts. 8 men across the line, option play. Dowdell pitches late to Cobb, up the sideline to the 20, out of bounds around the 18, maybe the 17. Mundy came over to hit him along with Lamar Woodley.
Well, the option play has been the play of Drew Stanton for the most part. Haven't seen a lot of it from Dowdell, but John L. Smith going first play in overtime, runs the option and gets the ball out to Cobb.
3 wideouts for the Spartans. Scott and Trannon to the right, Kyle Brown left. Draw play. Cobb outside of the left, gets to the 15, cut down by Shazer at the 13. First down, Michigan State. First down at the 13, Michigan leading in overtime by 3, 30-27. And obviously the Spartans have got a great kicker in Rayner with plenty of leg.
Right.
With the win, that's not even an issue, the yardage.
And remember, from Michigan's perspective, the tight ends of Michigan State have hurt them, and they've been very good on teams when they've gotten inside the red zone. 5
receivers wide now on first down at the 13. Tight end Randall is split, comes in motion right to the wide side, and Dowdell's going to roll that way, getting pressure, looking back left, lobs it up, diving attempt at the 5 by Randall, incomplete. Tight end made a great effort with Curry covering.
Well, everything's a counter or a throwback, isn't it?
Yes.
Michigan State really trying to get Michigan going one way and coming back the other.
Well, I'll tell you, he was open too. Second down and 10 at the 13 of Michigan. 4 wide for the Spartans. Cobb the only setback. Option left. Quick pitch to Cobb. Cuts upfield. He got room to the 10, to the 5. Monday tackled him at the 5-yard line. Third down and 2, but they're 15 feet away from a go-ahead and game-winning score. They're 2 yards from a first down, maybe less than that, where they spot the football. Inside the 5.
5-yard line.
Quarterback draw.
Yeah, last 2 times they've been there, they've run the quarterback draw. One time it worked, the other time it didn't.
Cobb the only setback. Ball on the left hash. 8 men across the line. Running play with Cobb, going left, hemmed in. Manning grabs him from behind, won't let him go. The ball comes loose, recovered by MSU at the 15. But was he down? He should have been whistled down.
He was at the 11.
Well, I think they're going to mark it up there at the 6 where Manning had it. That play
right.
should have been whistled dead. If they didn't, then they're way off. But they did, so that's good. That's how it should have been.
Yep.
And it's 4th down. MSU got conservative there, didn't they?
They ran
Rayner.
the option a lot. They threw one ball to the tight end and a pass.
Dave Rayner here will try to tie it in overtime with a field goal from inside the left hash. 23 yards out of the hole to Brandon Fields. This would tie it if he makes it. The snap is good. Fields has it down. The kick on the way, and it is plenty good. Tied up again in overtime after the field goal by Rayner. So it's now 30-30. We've had field goals by Rivas of 34, by Rayner of 23, and we're still tied. Single setback, it's Teague. Play action fake. Dowdell rolls right to throw, hits Shabai on a crossing route down at the 11 against Marlon Jackson. He hauls him down from behind at the 10. It's going to be 1st down and I believe goal to go.
And it's a rollout again. Michigan State, give them credit. Offensively, they've done a nice job of mixing things up. This time, out of a normal set, not the shotgun. They roll Dowdell out. He buys enough time and gets Shabi in a drag route, coming underneath the linebackers.
1st and goal at the 10. Dowdell in the gun. He's got Teague in the shotgun with him. Rolling to his right, gives to Teague. Hemmed in by Manning. Reverses his field to the right. Gets down to the 5, still fighting. He's down to the 3-yard line. Good run by Jason Teague. He just wouldn't go down.
That's that same draw. This time Michigan defended it, but missed a tackle in the backfield. They had it defended nicely. It was a rollout to the right, but the draw was supposed to come back to the left, and Michigan had it defended, but the defender didn't make the tackle when he should have.
Second down goal.
So it's 2nd down and goal. Leon Hall did make the stop after Manning had missed. 2nd and goal on the 4. Teague in the backfield behind Dowdell, who's up under center now. They're flooding the wide side left with 3 receivers. Here comes Teague running right, fighting down to the 2, and then he's rejected and shoved back. Woo! Wow, was he drilled in there by Ernest Chaser.
I mean, that is going backwards.
Yeah. It looked like he had some momentum driving forward, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Chaser and Lawrence Reed hit him.
Oh, that was a play where it looked like there was some room, and then they got nothing. Now, here's your 3rd down play.
3rd and goal at the 2-yard line. Yeah, the ball's on the 3. Call it 3rd and goal at the 3, and MSU calls timeout. So, with the game tied at 30 in overtime, 2nd overtime.
Ball at the 3-yard line. It's 3rd down. Goal to go.
We wait to see what the Spartans call. Well, the Wolverines defense heads out on the field. Gabe Watson's the first one to go down over the ball at the 3. Behind him, you got Prescott Burgess, Ernest Chaser, Scott McClintock, Pat Massey, Leon Hall, Larry Harrison, Roy Manning, Marlon Jackson, and Lamar Woodley. For the Spartans, Scott splits out to the right. Teague is the only running back behind Dowdell. 2 tight ends, not on the left. Randall on the right. Matt Trennan split out left. Here we go. 3rd and goal from the 3. Dowdell looks at a 7-man front, gives it to Teague running right, cuts back down near the goal line, and is he in? Yes, touchdown, Michigan State. The Wolverines shoved him back, but he had crossed the plane. And Jason Teague carries it over from the 3.
Give Michigan State credit. Faith in their offensive right side to get the job done. That was just a power off the right side. And Teague made a good cut back up in there and then dove into the end zone.
And now Rayner to try the extra point. Boy, every play so important in overtime. Especially extra points, as Michigan found out in that Orange Bowl with Alabama. They missed one and lost. The kick by Rayner on the way, and it's perfect. So it's 37-30, Michigan State in overtime. And now the 49 Wolverines know the job that lies ahead. They've got to score a touchdown. And the Wolverines will start at the 25 with the wind at their back. They huddle in front of the bench here on the western sideline. Lloyd Carr and Fred Jackson right in the middle of it. Chad Henne steps in. They call the play right there. And now they break and head out onto the gridiron. Trailing by 7 in the second overtime. Edwards out to the right, the only wide out. And now Avant joins him that way.
Pierre Rembert's the running back.
Yes, he is. He's usually in there for pass protection. Avant in motion left, and Henne will throw. He's looking. He fires to Avant inside the 20. He's got it at the 18. Now, I believe Avant fell down, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
So Jason's got it for a 6-yard gain. I mean, before he caught it, he fell down.
Ball at the 19-yard line, second
Well,
down.
that's what I saw out of the corner of my eye, but maybe they're playing tricks on me. They have before. 2nd and 4. Avant out to the left. Edwards to the right. Ball on the left hash. Offset eye, power right. Max Martin, the tailback. Quick throw out to Edwards. He shakes a man at the 20. Up the sideline, 15. Bucks a man at the 10. Gets down to the 7 and out of bounds. 1st and goal, Michigan. Get it to a playmaker, you always say, Jim.
Yes, and that time Chad Henne threw a fastball. He knew he had to get Braylon the ball as quickly as possible because he needed to let him make a play. So he really fired a fastball, and then Braylon made a man miss and gets it down inside the 10.
That man was Roderick Maples. And then the safety Smith came over and bumped him out. 1st and goal at the 7. Ball on the right hash. 2 tight ends. Ecker left, Massacoy right. Offset eye, power left. Martin the tailback. Hard injured an ankle in the first overtime. Here's Max Martin, first carry of the day. Straight ahead to the 5. You got 2. 2nd down and goal.
Max Martin carry.
You want to make Michigan, I was going to say, you want to make Michigan State aware the running game is still there. You know, you're inside the 5, so you pound them inside. Run action now makes a play.
How about if you're Lloyd Carr, though, and you got a running back in there ahead and carried all game?
Yeah.
Now in the most important part of the contest, overtime, near the goal line, you got to hand it to him. Rembert in there now, along with Dudley. Edwards in motion, 2nd and goal at the 5. Fake to Rembert, rolling right. Henne flips it near the goal line. Caught, and then bobbled and dropped by Massacoy. Oh, boy. He was down at the 2, and he couldn't hold on. Let's go down to Steve Courtney.
I understand from the Michigan medical folks, Frank, Brando, that the problem with Michael Hart is a thigh problem, and he's receiving treatment. His return is uncertain.
Probably took a helmet in the thigh, and it's a little bit sore.
3rd and goal at the 5, trailing by 7. And we're going to get a timeout called.
It can be a very long way indeed, and Michigan right now wishes it weren't 5. They'd like to be on the 1, but they've got to negotiate these final 5 yards, and since Michigan State scored, they've got 2 downs to do it, but they can't do anything less than the touchdown.
All right, Preston is out to the left. You got Rembert split out to the right with Avant. Edwards in a slot to the left. Henne under center, bringing Rembert in motion. And dropping to throw. Looks, lofts it, right corner of the end zone to Avant. He has got it, touchdown! What a grab. What a throw. Henne threw it to the back pylon over the top of Jaron Hayes again. And Avant made a circus catch going up in the air to pull it in.
Well, Jason Avant does have great hands, and he is one of those guys that can really climb the ladder. He made a great inside move, and Henne made a great throw to get him the ball. And no question, Avant came down a foot in bounds, and now Garrett Rivas has got the game on his right foot.
He's missed 4 extra points this year. He's been perfect in this ball game. Adam Finley to hold, Ross Mann to snap it. Finley's got it down. Rivas kick on the way. It's up and it's good. We're tied up again. 37 apiece. Wow. Well, it doesn't get any more exciting than this, I'll tell you. And you wonder what big play is going to turn it. So now you go to the third overtime where you don't kick the extra point.
You've got to go for 2 now. That's an overtime rule.
And that's only on, obviously, on touchdowns.
Right.
You can still kick field goals in this overtime. Here we go. And you've got Rember to tailback with Dudley in the backfield. Play action fake. Henny to throw. He's going to the left sideline, and there's not a receiver in sight.
Well, Jason Avant ran a post cut. And I
Henny
think
was
Henny
throwing
thought
an out cut. And I mean, there was the only thing close to that was the ABC camera. 2nd down and 10. Well, with the way he released that ball so calmly, Jim, I was expecting somebody wide open over there.
I think he thought that Avant, he threw it before the break, obviously, and Avant ran the post, and he was supposed to run the out cut.
2nd down and 10 from the 25. Rembert out, Max Martin in at tailback. Edwards to the right, Avant out to the left. The tight end is Massaquoi on the right. Martin and Dudley, offset eye power right. Here's Martin running the ball, and he is hemmed in, fights forward for a yard to the 24. That's it. Spartans with Terrell Dortch. Plugged it up. David Heron in there as well. It's 3rd down and 9 at the 24.
How important is a first down play?
Huge.
Well, in overtime, it's magnified. And when you waste a first down, don't get anything out of it, it really puts you in a bind. And now you're really forced on pressure. Come up with a 3rd down play with 9 to go in triple OT.
Yep, you got Breston and Avant to the right. Wide side left, you got Braylon Edwards. He's got Jaron Hayes against him. They've been throwing at Hayes all game. Here's Henny back to throw. And he look, and he's firing on a post cut. Edwards has it. 10, 5, touchdown. Well, that's the guy they've been picking on, Jaron Hayes, and Braylon Edwards has his 3rd touchdown grab of the game.
This time, though, what do? They send Avant down and fake the out cut where he's made 2 plays deep in the corner, and he busts it back inside on a post. And he gets by Hayes and then breaks over the middle, and Henny threw an absolute strike in there for the score.
And now the Wolverines have to go for 2, remember. That is 11 catches for 190 yards for Braylon Edwards.
Now Michigan comes out with a different set.
And they split 2 receivers on both sides with a slot both ways. And a single setback, that's Rembert. Edwards going in motion right. And Henny to throw. He throws in the back of the end zone, and it's caught by Massaquoi. Tim Massaquoi, who earlier in overtime dropped an easy one, caught a tough one at the back of the end zone for 2. And it's 45-37.
The thing about that play is you've got Avant and Edwards both going out to the perimeter, pulling Michigan State's defense wide. Massaquoi, the tight end, splits and circles around over the middle. And Henny, I mean, he threads a needle in there, and Massaquoi makes a great throw.
Oh, threw it right over Stanley's head. Now it's Michigan State's turn in overtime. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion now to force it to a 4th overtime. Dowdell in the gun, 3 wide receivers left. Now Alexander in motion right. Dowdell has the snap, straight back to throw. Fires underneath, incomplete. I want you to know McClintock was all over Alexander right there.
Almost had a pick.
He surely did. He had 2 interceptions in a game earlier this year. Had the big interception to seal last year's victory at Spartan Stadium. Now it's 2nd down and 10. And Jim, that's the first time I can recall the Spartans just dropping back and throwing.
Yeah, they've normally done it on the rollout look.
Matt Trannon out to the right. Alexander left. It looks like there's a little confusion among the Spartan players about the call. 3 wideouts go left.
Watch the draw.
Dowdell in the gun. He drops the throw. He looks. He's lofting it up to DeAndre Cobb, right side. Threw it behind him, incomplete. Flags are flying all over the place. And Marlon Jackson is pointing at Eric Knott, the tight end. Knott's pointing back at Marlon Jackson. Jackson's going to 3 different officials to plead some case. The flags were thrown on the near side. The throw went to the far side.
The flags are way away from the ball.
Interference
Michigan
on Michigan State. Wow. Well, there were several flags thrown.
Well, Marlon Jackson must have felt he was covering and not got in his way while the ball was in the air. You can't do that. That's offensive interference. A pick play, if you will. Even though the ball wasn't there, the referees throw the flag on that.
Right. What's odd about the whole thing, and even about making contact with the Marlon Jackson, is that the play was going to the right sideline and the infraction was occurring on the left hash. Let's listen.
Yes, interference on the offense. Number 4. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
So that'll move the ball back to the 40-yard line, and it's second down and 25.
Well, that is a huge penalty. A huge penalty on Michigan State. Eric Knott got tied up with Marlon Jackson.
Well, we've had a few controversial calls in the game, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Well, like you said earlier, what do you expect? It's Michigan State. I mean, it seems like that's the norm these days.
Well, the ball's on the 40 of Michigan.
Well,
Spartans need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. We got 3 wideouts to the left, including Randall, the tight end. Shabai outside of him. And then Love. Trannon out to the right. Dowdell in the gun. Dropping to throw. Looking. Lofting it right side. Up in the air, Trannon. He's got it at the 23. Tackled immediately by Mason there. And that'll be about 7 or 8 yards shy of a first down. It'll be third down coming up. So they went to the tall fella, Trannon at 6'6", over Grant Mason, who's listed at 6 foot, but looks more like about 5'10". And it's third down and 8 from the Michigan 23.
Well,
give
Dowdell some credit. He was able to do the job while Lamar Woodley was in his face and still get that ball out. Nice play by the Michigan State quarterback.
Michigan now has Woodley, Pierre Woods, and Gabe Watson up front. 6 defensive backs in the ball game. And in the gun, Dowdell on third down, setting to throw. Looks, lofting it to Knotts. He wasn't looking. Ball was behind him down at the goal line. Incomplete. Knott was running step for step with Leon Hall, and it's fourth down.
You know the key there is Leon Hall forced Knott to take the inside release, and Damon Dowdell threw the ball over the outside shoulder.
Fourth down. And 8 at the Michigan 23. They can still get a first down, remember, at the 15. Spartans line up. Dowdell in the shotgun.
Well, I'd watch that draw again.
Jason Teague is the setback. Dowdell rolling to his left. Looking, under pressure. He fires toward the goal line. Knocked away by Marcus Curry, and Michigan wins! From 17 points down in the fourth quarter, Michigan survives in triple overtime, winning perhaps the greatest game ever between these two rivals. Our final score, Michigan 45, Michigan State 37.